Hello, everyone. This is Apostle Babe Linda James, your favorite apostate. And this is something I tell you every single week because my attempt is to brainwash you. So you'll know what brainwashing is. I always joke with you guys about this because it's one of the techniques that is used in brainwashing is to tell you something over and over and over and over again. And, you may have heard somebody say, if you say a statement enough times, it becomes true when in actuality it probably isn't true, but after you hear it so many times it would be true. So this is what I'm indoctrinating you with, is that I am your favorite apostate. So today is Saturday, the 13th of December, and I have Matthew joining me, and we might have another person that comes in and joins us later, or um, whoever shows up today. The link is on top of the chat for you all to join us. And to begin with, I wanted to talk a little bit about blood because after Joe and Fran's show on Wednesday night, we got to see Vern. And Vern had an operation this week. And when him and his good wife, Shauna, um, got on screen after the show, he looked wonderful. I mean, he looked refreshed. He looked really good. And I could tell this year has really strained Shauna, as just being concerned about her husband and knowing the pain he was going through with his condition. But he did get his operation. There was a GoFundMe, and I brought it up, they brought it up, and whoever could give did, and whoever can't, no big deal, But it's one of those things too that it's very hard for us to ask when we need help. It's so much easier for us to be the one that does the helping. And to be honest, as Jehovah's Witnesses, we were trained to be the one that does most of the helping. And we didn't always get um, reciprocation. But there actually is an expectation at times for that. But like I can remember the times when my kids were teenagers. I was making more money at that time. I was able to, for Christmas and stuff, I was able for us to go out to a restaurant. My kids and their friends would be there with us, and in my mind, Christmas and Thanksgiving is time to be with family. And me spending time in the kitchen cooking, I could have done if I really enjoyed it, but there was this option where it was going to be prepared for us. And we could just all be at the table visiting. And that's what I had decided was the most important thing, the time that we get to spend with each other. So the meals would be cooked for us. We got to hang out with each other. I got to pay for it. I was making better money. I was making money at that time. And then um, I ran them all over the place. Wherever they needed to go, I was always taking them here, always taking them there. Whereas today it's quite different. So my daughter, oldest daughter, has helped me out a few times financially. Um, about a year or so ago, I even asked um, some help to pay for StreamYard, and I was really thankful that you guys had came through in the way I asked you to. And who could not, that was fine too. And I don't want to monetize this channel. I don't want to have a Patreon or anything for this channel, but to be able to give does feel good. So, um, and it's a blessing when we are, equipped to give. I think about that story of the Good Samaritan. When this guy's on the side of the road, somebody beat the crap out of him. He's laying there basically almost dead, right? And this good Samaritan comes along, and there's an understanding that their two cultures do not get along. They do not associate with each other. But he stopped and assisted this man. he was actually equipped with medicine of some sort or took the alcohol that he had on him to help him with his sores. And then he got him to like a hotel, motel kind of place. They called it an inn. And he was equipped with money to pay for this guy to convalesce somewhat someplace, right? And tells the owner of the motel, hotel, or whatever, if he needs anything when I come back, I'll pay you for it. So the Good Samaritan, I always think about that story as, yes, that's a wonderful thing that there was not this prejudiceness amongst the two of them, but that he was equipped and that he could give because he was equipped. He had it at the time. And I do believe that when we're equipped and we have it to give, when it's above what we're supposed to take care of, our own responsibilities and stuff, I think that we get joy from that. It not only gives joy to someone else who's in need, but we get joy as well, getting to support somebody with things that we're equipped with. So back to Vernon and Shauna, I think it took a lot for them to put up a GoFundMe, okay, to request some financial help for him. And I'm really, really glad that they did, because the kindness that they have shown many people, it really got to show back up for them. And it was neat to see that. And I had asked also a week or so ago whether or not the GoFundMe would stay open past the time of his operation, because I just picture a medical bill being something you make payments on. I don't know quite how it is, but they are going to leave it open. So in the future, if there is something you want to donate, keep them in mind. And if not, if you're not equipped, that's fine too. It's no big deal. But he had said that he had a blood transfusion. And the way he said it was such a smile. I saw the freedom on his face. Okay? That was really something. Now, I think that during our time of healing, we kind of shed different teachings and different doctrines as we go along when we're okay with letting go of them. But until we are, we still kind of believe what we've been indoctrinated to believe. So some people who have left the organization or are still in it revere and respect how the organization has taught us regarding blood transfusions. And people that have left, some of them, it's okay with their conscience to receive a blood transfusion. And the more we educate ourselves about the process of what is done with blood before it's given as a blood transfusion, that's helpful too. So it was just really good to see he got his operation done, but then this other level of freedom for him, that he said he received a blood transfusion with no hesitation. So he's gone through whatever he needed to for it to be okay with his conscience. That might not be the case with you, and I'm not here to tell you that it should be, but it was that way for him. And it was just a good thing to see. So I think Raymond Franz, in his book, Crisis of Conscience, I think he brought it up in a really good way regarding blood. The organization speaks of blood as being a symbol of life, and that the soul is in the blood. Okay, and scripturally, what we see regarding blood and not partaking of blood is to not eat it, and it's mainly talking about animal blood. Today is a whole different story, The Bible also used to say not to eat any kind of fish that's from the bottom of the ocean. But I've heard a few people like lobster pretty darn well and have no hesitation eating it. It doesn't go against the conscience of quite a few people, but is biblical statements that say to not eat things like that. So we go through the Bible and um, we might think of it as the same as we did during the organization and or different. Okay, where I was going with that thing about Raymond Franz, he spoke of it as being a symbol of life. So another thing that can be a symbol is if you had married someone and there's a picture on the wall that's of the day of the wedding, that picture there is a symbol of the wedding. It's not the commitment the two people are living out as we speak, but that picture is the symbol. And if they wear wedding rings, the wedding ring is a symbol of the commitment that they made. So it's not necessarily the marriage, but a symbol of the marriage. The organization also used to teach that they taught about this with blood transfusions and organ transplants, which a blood transfusion is kind of considered, I believe it is considered an organ transplant as well. I'm not sure if that's the way the organization and the medical field sees it. I just remember reading it. So there was a time when Jehovah's Witnesses were not to take organ transplants, and then it became okay. But with each subject, the blood transfusions and organ transplants, what they did was they wrote articles about somebody else who might have received a blood transfusion or might have or did receive a organ transplant. The person that received the transplant, started taking on the personality of the person that once had that organ within them. And this was a gnarly, really strange, intended to scare this crap out of you article, okay? Because we don't know who the organ donor was. We don't know their character. We don't know their personality. We don't know anything about them, right? So they would bring it up in such a way that it could have been a murderer. It could have been somebody that did drugs. It could have been somebody that did stuff wrong. Whatever they came up with, it was they were a wrong kind of person. Okay. So that was something that was used, which in reality, I don't believe there's any scientific evidence that that could even happen. Have you ever heard of anything like that, Matthew? Any science?
I have, and I'm going to be controversial from my side because,
Okay.
Okay, let me put it in a way to respect audience. I'm not conclusive.
As far as personality of an organ donor?
Because I think you asked me, was I involved in PVG or patient visiting group or HLC?
The liaison committee, yes.
Yeah, and HIS, which is Hospital Information Service, that used to be at the branch.
Okay.
Okay. Humans manifest things in all sorts of ways. So is there a metaphysical component? Yeah, there is, because that's part of our humanity. So I'm not conclusive about it. But when you were talking about this thing of blood, it was a control. And so instead of a person now going, oh, I'm not aligned with it, or somebody like Vern who is aligned with it, what was happening is you had persons making the decision for you and enforcing it. So it wasn't a voluntary thing based upon your own spiritual development, upon your education or your outlook. It was just taken away from you, and you are monitored, and there's discipline involved. There's all of this kind of thing going on. Is there a coercive element? And I wonder if that is the issue, not necessarily whether a person has gone into how does DNA work, or is there a
Okay.
metaphysical component that we don't quite know about, or
Right.
other person saying, no, I'm quite cool with it. We all originate from the same seed. And so, yeah, if I take a person's blood, well, it's all family as far as I'm concerned. There's all of these different aspects of being able to look at it. I don't know if that muddies the water, Linda James.
No, that's no, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I think I heard you say, could that have been like a form of coercion? Did I hear you kind of
Yeah,
ask that question, which is
that's right. So,
different
yes.
from whether or not that could happen, the stories that we would hear the organization talk about.
Yeah, because I in my experience, I did see that happen. I saw somebody's personality change, and I went, "Oh, that's
Oh, okay.
really interesting." But
Okay.
that's my observation, and there
Yeah.
might have been others that observed it, and that just may be a characteristic of our personalities. What I've noticed with the scientific community, even when they get into metaphysics or they get into parapsychology, and when I say parapsychology, I'm not just saying woo-woo, I'm saying a proper scientific approach like Robert Bigelow has encouraged at the the Bigelow Consciousness Studies, that a Bigelow Institute for Consciousness Studies. When he has gone into those various aspects, if you want to call it mysticism, or if you want to call it metaphysics, I think that's a good word. They are careful not to be totally conclusive. They will investigate various aspects and say, look, these are these findings, or there was this scientific study approach done here, or there was this data that was taken in, or this survey that was done. And it's quite remarkable what has come in the past 140 years. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he says that openly. He says, wow, as a civilization, we are incredibly equipped now to look at phenomenal data that persons never knew was out there, because scientism was acting as its own religion, going, oh, this is taboo, we don't want this out. If you wanted to secure tenure in a university as a doctor or as a professor, you had to be very careful not to hit the scientism wall and upset the dean of the institute. You had to be very, very careful. So I see in those top tier circles, they will embrace an idea like, oh yeah, if you make a decision not to touch blood, or you do touch blood, that's up to you in your own development to pursue that. Mm-hmm. Or because you've got scientists there on your front line that are looking at taking, for instance, your blood. I think you've spoken about Jehovah's Witnesses as an experiment, or a social experiment, or a way to experiment.
I have, yes. I have.
And so we wouldn't have things like CRISPR, for instance. We wouldn't have, this idea of saying, okay, well, David Sinclair. David Sinclair is a good example, right? Where he goes, okay, well, let's take stem cells and let's see if we can grow an eyeball, your eyeball, or replace damaged cells in your eyeball on your retina, because there's macular degeneration. And so we are going to absolutely match your DNA signature or your frequency, so that there is no organ rejection whatsoever. And if we implant those cells, or we stimulate those cells, we're going to get high probability of success. But it is a scientific approach that acknowledges sigma. And when I say sigma represents, I suppose I'm imperfectly saying this, but it's sigma, and I'm open to correction, represents the margin for error. To say, okay, well, we don't discount that. And whenever we produce a scientific study, it is up to us to disprove it. We can't just say,
yes.
What's my favorite thing? And it's how this program should work. Take whatever we say, thesis, with the,
Yep.
I'm plugging it, antithesis for synthesis, and with a healthy skeptical outlook. And I look at that community as being the same chirp that I hear on that pioneering front line. So, Linda James, I will tell you, I don't know. I don't possess all the answers about it. I've got my own viewpoint. I've got my own, but I'm not being asked what my own viewpoint is necessarily. I'm going, well, in order to have the best range for your audience, it's again that word eclectic, saying, well, we can embrace all these things. Whereas in a religion, it was like a no-go area. We make the decision for you. And on top of that, we put in disciplinary measures.
That's right. Uniformity is what was expected rather than unity. We can be in unity in an area and not have to believe uniformly. I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, we don't. Yeah, you get to have your opinion based on your wisdom, based on what you've noticed, and then so do I, and that's something I promote here as well. I think it was. Let me just say hi to people. We've got Mama Bear, and we've got Dallas, and Born AJW. Happy thoughts, and we've got John. Let's see. I hope we have you in that comment section too. I don't want to miss anybody. Alice Power, did I mention you? I don't know if I'm missing anybody. I hope I'm not. Oh, Purple's in the house. There she is.
Linda James.
Not Jaw is going through a difficult competition for you. Not Jaw. Okay, Not Jaw is somebody who had a channel called Not Jaw Witness. Oh wow. Okay. And so his videos were actually amazing. Like amazing. Okay. So he's kind of taken a break for a while. So hearing about him right now is interesting. Okay, so Purple's saying hi to Dehydrated Nurse and Grow, which I must not have seen them. Hello, Dehydrated Nurse and Grow. I wonder if I have this thing set for me to see all the comments. Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. Grow is with us. That's great.
Yay. Thank you, everybody who's here. And I'm seeing some of these comments. Dallas was, I think, the one that was saying that it was Nora that brought in the doctrine. Oh, Dallas is like, Linda, I'm eating out as a treat and meeting with friends. That's great. Good for you, Dallas. You can listen to the show if you want to with them, or you can even turn it off, love, and just hang out with them. You are not obligated to have to hear me, even though that's what you usually do on a Saturday night. When you have friends with you, you can turn me off, sweetheart, because that's a true value that you get to be doing that. and Dallas also says, Born, I love Vernon Shauna. It's so true. So true. Then Born AJW said, right after I woke up, I called the hospital and changed my religion and blood status. It felt freeing in a way I cannot describe. Oh my God, I totally identify. What's interesting is that happened with you right after you woke up, meaning understood that you don't believe in this religion and don't want to be a part of it. You believe it's false, this, that, and the other, and all kinds of stuff. It took me a while after I left to do that. So I'm glad your conscience was okay with that. But yeah, so that is something that if your conscience is at a place where you are okay with receiving blood transfusions, you definitely want to go to your doctors and have that, or call them up. Born at JW said that they had Called the hospital. Yeah, called the hospital. So however you can get the records changed, if you want them changed, make the phone calls, do what you got to do, fill out paperwork or whatever. The beginning of the movie Apostasy, the beginning of that movie starts out with one of the characters talking to like a social worker at the hospital. And the social worker at the hospital is letting her know all you've got to do is say a word and we'll set things up for you. And what's really going on at that point is the social worker is letting this Jehovah's Witness. So in this movie Apostasy, the main characters is a mother and two daughters. And the social worker is talking to the youngest daughter regarding blood transfusions, okay? There is a liaison team that will show up and let the doctors know that they have power of attorney regarding this area if you're going to need a blood transfusion, to suggest other means of synthetic blood or replacement alternatives. So they inform the doctors, they inform the hospitals of these other things that are available. And or like maybe there's a hospital halfway across town that does things with alternative blood products, okay? And it's becoming a really big deal. I even subscribe to a channel on YouTube about alternative blood sources. So she, in the beginning of the movie, the social worker is talking to the youngest daughter and saying that, you know, if something comes up, all you have to do is say something and we will set it up in such a way that nobody else will know that you're receiving a blood transfusion because it is your legal choice. And the reason this was showing up in this movie Apostasy is because although doctors and nurses have been trained on how to treat Jehovah's Witnesses with respect and comply with their viewpoint on not taking blood, it's also a very tragic and traumatic event for them to go through. When they go to train to be a doctor or a nurse or whatever, their commitment is to do no harm and to know that they are equipped with something that they can give to save someone's life, but respect the fact that a Jehovah's Witness's conscience refuses that. Okay. Why? Because of their freedom of religion, they get to say no blood. And by the way, some people that have received blood have been sued by the Watchtower, but that's a big, we can get into that later, or maybe not. But the reason this kind of situation is available now is because nurses and doctors and hospitals understand the possible coercion that could be happening with the liaison team within the Jehovah's Witnesses. I do believe that believing Jehovah's Witnesses who have been indoctrinated with the scriptures and the teachings and everything about not receiving a blood transfusion, they believe that that is what God wants for them. And they totally believe that that will displease God, and that it also, like they believe they won't even be resurrected. I believe that's part of the doctrine as well, that you won't be resurrected in the new system of things if you take blood in this system of things. So they understand, so they've set things up in such a way that if they hear directly from the patient that yes, they want blood, but they need it to be on the down low, done secretly, they have many ways of being able to do that. So that's what I wanted to share tonight, that there is that way of doing it. Yes, we might be over 18, we might even be 30 or 40. And if our mother or father, who are diehard Jehovah's Witnesses, are standing next to us, not wanting us to take a blood transfusion, and then we have the assistance of a liaison committee, it might be coercion. But I don't believe that's always the case. I do believe there's true believers, and the liaison team is there that really, really supports them, prays with them, encourages them throughout that process. And they are true believers that believe that they are allowing themselves to cross over in a manner of being obedient to Jehovah. But it was good to see that Vern was okay with it. It was okay with his conscience. So, yeah, today I am okay with being able to receive a blood transfusion, but there was times I was not, even when I was delivering my children. And that was me out of the organization for like a good 10 years. I didn't have a place, and I wasn't even working on recovery. You know, in my mind, during that time, it was like if I was going to get back right with God, I was going to go back to the Kingdom Hall. I didn't have a mindset of healing. I just thought, you know, I don't like this. They have too many rules. But of course, that means there's something wrong with me. So I just couldn't keep up. I just couldn't, you know, be approved of by Jehovah and all this stinking thinking kind of stuff. Yeah. So, dehydrated nurse says, I would be nervous about having a blood transfusion now with all the fibrin clots found in blood now. And see, she is a nurse, so she does have something to say about it.
It's a difficult point, that one, Linda James, and it's difficult to talk about, I think, openly. It's one of those things that can sometimes be censored, eh?
Yeah, yeah. And again, you know, we're all at different places of our journey. I mean, if you have a different view than I do, that's okay. You know, it's really okay. Um, we kind of just go through different things as we're going along. And usually what brings it up is us getting triggered. We get triggered as we're healing. That's part of our healing. How are you seeing others on the chat, Matthew? I'm not seeing them.
I got a thought about that. It could be that Sheila is tuned into Vernon's broadcast, maybe. I think that was the issue last time, right?
Possibly, but I'm under the impression you can't even make comments under Vern's broadcast of this show, which is really cool that they do a broadcast of this show.
Now, this has happened with Happy Thoughts before.
Okay.
A bit of trouble with the chat or the live chat, and I'm not sure why. I am checking on another browser, and I am seeing. Okay, so Happy Thoughts, it says, I made sure I wasn't on Vern's channel. Happy Thoughts, I don't know. That's a weird technical issue. I'm wondering if it's some sort of filter in the UK, maybe. I'm not sure. I will look on another browser, but it looks like it's coming through. So, yeah, not sure I can help you. Sorry.
Also, too, Happy Thoughts is up at the top. There might be an emblem. I mean, a icon that is for settings. And if you open that up, or some kind of a drop down menu, it gives you the option to see top comments or all comments. So there's that. Now, Linda Linda Lawton just joined in and said, I attended the world premiere of Apostasy at the Toronto Film. Oh, okay. Okay. Um, uh, the Toronto Film Festival. Uh, it was quite a moving experience. You know what? She was actually talking about it on six screens. My God, what was that, like 7 years ago? I, I had my daughter watch the movie, and one of the things I was so impressed with, well, anyway, she got to talk a lot about it on six screens, and it was just so amazing when she was talking about it. It's like when you listen to somebody take you there in a story, and she did. Okay, what am I supposed to notice from what you're showing me? Because I'm not seeing the bigger
Oh,
picture.
sorry, Linda James, I'm distracting you, but it looks like Jay Mars and Happy Thoughts are struggling with seeing chat, live chat. So I just
Oh, that's
put up
fascinating.
I
Okay.
put up an alternative.
Oh, okay. And you know what I can do too? I can put the chat on the screen.
Oh, can you do that?
Yes, I forgot.
Ooh,
This is
ooh,
I
ooh, ooh, that's good.
I know, right?
Okay,
It's like
so
this it's IT stuff. It's really cool.
Happy Thoughts, does that sort things out for you now? Alice Power, the same thing happening to me. Huh. Oh, RE seeing people. So okay, all right, okay. Hopefully that works things out. I don't know. Okay, Happy Thoughts is sad to say no. It's not working.
You
So
should be able
Happy
to
Thoughts,
see the
we're
chat.
seeing your comments coming through,
Yeah.
but what it sounds like is it's not coming through on the screen on the YouTube, eh? Linda James, I have no idea about how to sort that out technically.
Me too. I'm so sorry to hear about that. So this movie, I think, called Apostasy, one of the best things I was impressed with is when they were not talking. The silence in between the different situations they were going through. I felt it all. I don't even know what you call that. But this movie, Apostasy, which is on Amazon Prime, if you're if you have Amazon Prime, it's free. It's a very good movie actually, and it depicts the teachings of this organization very well. What I noticed was they took a few different situations and added them into the movie. Like the mom just wanted to help her pregnant daughter clean the refrigerator for her. And in real life, this situation actually happened. And I remember us hearing about it, reading about it, and it showed up in the movie. And then another thing that showed up in the movie was the mother of the two daughters. After the oldest daughter had the baby, the mother had this inclination that she needs to take the baby and raise it on her own as a Jehovah's Witness because her daughter was a backslider. And the only way to make sure her granddaughter or grandchild, I think it was a granddaughter, lives is to make sure that this baby is raised a Jehovah's Witness. You know, it might sound absolutely unfathomable and ridiculous to someone who's never been involved in a group like the Jehovah's Witnesses that a mother would even dream of doing this, but it is the way they think. When they have a backslider, it is often something that the believing parents would want to continue to do is to get the children as much as possible on the evenings of the meetings and on the weekends for the meetings. And so, not to say that grandparents don't love their grandchildren, I'm saying that is part of loving them. And that's their mindset. That's what they believe. And Linda's saying, okay, you're answering Born JW. Okay. Kidnapping the child was so exactly how I feared after leaving. That's what Mama Bear Mama Bear CA says. Okay. Yes. And also too, Rick brought up earlier today on Six Screens that there's literally a book the organization has made. Well, it's kind of more of it's a thin book that helps parents who are the remaining believers to get custody of the children if one of them ends up not remaining a believer. Yeah. Backsliders sometimes face honor killing too. You know what? Especially, um, I believe Muslims. I might be wrong, but Islam. I'm not sure. But what does happen within the organization is they'll let us know. You know, back in Bible days, we used to be able to stone our kids for misbehaving, stone them to death, right? So we would hear this crap from some elders that had these power trips. And it would be brought up in some articles as well, which actually says you deserve to be dead, if you're an apostate. Okay.
Linda James, what happened with Jonathan on XJW Analyzer?
I don't know.
Happy Thoughts, it says it was so upsetting. Linda James, is it all right if I every now and then we just read out the significant comments, because I think some are getting the comments and others aren't.
Yes, good idea. Thank you. Help yourself.
We'll just do that every now and then, but I'll ask you. But I think we're more or less up to date there. And it looks like we have 19 that are watching on the Apostobabe Linda James channel. I don't know about Vern's channel, but it's good to have everybody all on board. It's just really great. And we thank you for all your comments.
Yeah.
You're getting some good chirps coming in.
Who is it that they brought up XJW Analyzer and
Sheila.
Jonathan? So Jonathan is XJW Awake, I think, and XJW Analyzer. I don't know of those two doing much together. So, and I haven't heard anything that happened. So it could be a personality difference. I'm not real sure. But drama happens within this organization. Drama does happen. I say save your drama for somebody else's mama, because I really want a drama-free zone, and I want to find out when things like this do happen. I would love to say, oh yes, I don't get involved in gossip, but I get curious. I basically I care, but sometimes I'll find out something and I'm just like, yep, they'll work it out. So I'm not aware of what happened. Sorry about that.
I liked Barbara Anderson's interview. Is it earlier? Hey, yeah, earlier. And she is very, very careful not to get caught up in the sensational side. This document's been leaked, or we've got this court case, and it's so many million. You see, even if it comes through, and I was sent some things from the Bethel itself. My immediate question is, even if it's coming from Bethel, is this legitimate, or are they seeding some trick?
Right.
I do that. I will announce it if an elder has done it and I can trace it, because if they falsified information, I'm going to say, well, there's your leak. That's where it's coming from. It's coming from the heart of the system. And this is the brother, and this is his qualification, and that he's in charge of this oversight or this. I will expose it. Yeah. So, and I know they're listening. So if they can take that to heart next time they send out information.
Yep. So Dallas says honor killing cultural or tribal tradition is mostly not Islamic. Okay.
Yeah.
And Dallas, yes, I got to watch Apostasy. You won't regret it. It's really amazing. Okay, so they were talking about the $100 case. Yeah, that's fascinating. This case has affected some people, but I usually when learning about something, I love to read the court transcripts or the opinion of the court or the summary the court puts out. Okay. I can look at a blog, which is someone's opinion of what the court put out, and take that or leave that, or take some and leave the rest. And somebody else's blog. And then with you guys, whatever I've come to think of it, I'll share that with you. And then when I find out different, I have no problem coming back to you and saying, remember this? I was wrong. And I don't feel like it means I'm a flake or anything. It's just as soon as I find out something different, I just bring it to you, you know?
Yeah. Look, I mean, the court system, Supreme Courts deal with double binds and catch-22s, and they also deal with the limitations of our human society, right? But they endeavor to go, well, what are the principles? The principles are to try and keep the status quo and to keep things functioning in an imperfect system. So there is that recognition, but it's the best that we have in our present human society. And so that's what, for now, says, okay, well, we can present that to an audience as a newsworthy item. But again, the same thing about having a healthy skepticism still applies. If you're a proper academic, that applies. But at least you've got a reference, like a court system that is a respected thing, even if it's wrong, because now you can still use that as the reference and say, well, you know, are we using that as a foundational source of information? If we're called upon to analyze or examine whether that court system has integrity, well, it's still a starting point. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does. It's right. So, example, here in Southern California, the stuff that's going on with ICE. Okay, I've mentioned how much I am not okay with it. Okay, I'm infuriated with it. I think it's off the charts. I've never seen anything like this. Okay, never seen anything like this. The way that they get a hold of people and take them into custody or whatever it's called has been horrendous to know about and to watch. Then I read the court paper that literally says, which it wasn't at the beginning, that ICE can now literally target people because of their accent and the color of their skin. Do I sound pissed? I am. Okay. This is not okay with me. And it's never been, it's so, it's so against human rights. I'm shocked and furious that Los Angeles County actually put something like that out as if it's okay. This is, I view this as an ethnic cleansing, and it's literally giving ICE the opportunity to I don't have the word right now, It's horrible. So I could have heard somebody tell me that ICE gets to do that, and I would say, "Oh, no, 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 no." But I read it. I downloaded it and I read it. It makes me furious, but that is the case that ICE gets to do in Los Angeles County. They get to round, that's all they need to round people up. That's all they need to take somebody in. I've heard so many stories of people saying, I am an American citizen and here's my ID, or they don't even want to look at your confirmation of being a US citizen, or sometimes ICE keeps your confirmation of being a US citizen. And, if they make a mistake, yeah, it happens. Do they get an apology? I haven't heard of any. It's very, very disturbing to me. And it's going to cause a lot of, first off, those of us that aren't even going through this horrendous event, I'm not the one being taken in. Watching it all is traumatic and it causes complex PTSD because I'm seeing it over and over and over and over again. So we have to take care of our psyche. But basically, what I'm saying with this is I see the PDF that I downloaded from the courts as a reliable source. But if somebody would have told me that was the case, that they could just, what is that word when you can literally discriminate a certain culture, a certain nationality? It's what it sounds like. I don't even know what to call it.
Racism.
Yeah, it's racial profiling. There it is. The PDF from the court in Los Angeles says that ICE gets to racially profile people and take them in the way that they do. It is so dehumanizing. It's so degrading. So society at large gets to look at them being treated like crap. Do I think that burglars and murderers and all these, the top of the criminal system of people should be out on the streets? No. Okay. But what we were told by our president is we're going to go after these people that are the worst of the worst. But what's going on is we're finding out that the people that have been taken in, some of them are citizens. Okay. And then the ones that are declared non-citizens, it's like 80 to 90% of them, even more, have never had any kind of criminal record whatsoever. So they're the ordinary person. And again, there's this process that a person goes through to become a citizen. So while they're in the process and they're going about doing all the things that they're supposed to do, that falls under the category of doing it right. You've heard people say, yeah, I don't mind if they come here. I just want them to do it the right way. Well, the right way takes quite a few years for some people. It doesn't just happen in 6 months. Okay. So until they get to the end of this process, they're not quite a citizen yet, but they are legally doing what they're supposed to do. And that makes it okay for them to be here. They're not doing it illegally. I even read an article last week where people were in line to get into the building where they were going to do their vow or their oath to become American citizens. And there were people getting pulled out of, now mind you, they've been properly vetted. They've passed everything they were supposed to pass. They're already basically a citizen. It's like graduating and going to the graduation. They did everything and they get to go through the vow together with other people. Some of them were plucked out of line simply because of where they originated from, which was unfortunately after someone had shot a few American citizens, not civilians, but they were in the service. And I'm sorry, I don't remember that. I don't remember the location, but it was horrible. A young lady named Sarah died, and then there was a gentleman who is still fighting for his life. So, Mama Bear is saying, we are witnessing the front line, Linda. It's disgusting what's happening. You know, I saw somebody named Carrie on YouTube one day. No, on Facebook saying this very same thing. And then I watched Jimmy Bell go, yeah, I'm sure it's not that bad. Those aren't the words he said, but he made it sound like, nah, it can't be that bad. Guess where ICE is this week? They're in Northern Carolina. They're in Jimmy Bell's neighborhood. And I hope he doesn't have to see the shit and the atrocities that is happening. It's just an it's horrible. So I need to shift my attitude to something better because this is an atrocity. And I grew up in Los Angeles County, and so did Carrie. You know, so yeah. So we both have this. Even though we're both white people, we have our fingers on the pulse of the culture. So yeah, let's shift. Okay. Dallas says, I love Gilbert's illustration. He's used like comparing JWs and Watchtower to Sears and Roebuck's. That's funny. Born a JW, Gilbert is a genius. Yes, Gilbert is a genius, which is why he's running to be one of the governing body members.
And if elected, I solemnly promise.
Right? Oh my goodness. These guys do a show, and I'll tell you what, the stuff they come up with, sometimes I just have to go, oh no, I have to zip my mouth and just look at this as comedy.
Yeah.
Because if I took any of it really, really seriously, it'd be bugging me bad. Yep, he's got your vote, born AJW, and he's got mine too. I absolutely love Gilbert. And I love the fact that Gilbert and why am I drawing a blank on his girlfriend? I'm drawing a blank. It's going to come to me in a minute. Mama Bear says, we stay within our communities to lift them up. Proverbs 31 women rocks. Did I tell y'all that I'm a Proverbs 32 woman? I get up late and let my kids serve me coffee. Okay, Big Mac's in the house. So much misinformation and lies that talking politics almost seems to be an experience in futility. I really think that political neutrality is one thing JW's got right. Yeah, I can understand that. And I know, Big Mac, that I've said some stuff and seen some of your comments and you weren't in agreement with me. And that's, I get it. But hello. And by the way, you have been basically the only one who's ever called me your favorite apostate. So thank you for allowing me to brainwash you. Yeah.
My brain needs a wash.
You remember that song? Well, there was a song from a musical called Ocean Pacific or Pacific Ocean. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair and send him on his way. There was these gals that were in the it was a musical that they were singing that song. That was a good one. If only we could wash our brains that way too.
That song is the South Pacific, right?
There it is, South Pacific, yes.
Nellie Forbush. She decided to
okay.
get over a man by literally washing her hair, symbolizing washing him out of her life.
Oh, okay.
Rodgers and Hammerstein's show.
Exactly, yes. Yes. So Amber might join us. I'm not sure if she's available to, but she might join us in a little bit. How did your week go, Matthew?
Thanks for asking. I struggled on this week. Look, I don't have to be bleak when I'm struggling, by the way, which is a weird thing, I suppose, maybe for many. But I might struggle, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm grossly unhappy.
Okay.
I had pain. What else did I have happening? I had, I was thinking I was upsetting community, XJW community or recovering community or those that were in JW. I had somebody write to me from Germany, the Hamburg congregation. You remember that incident in Hamburg, that awful incident?
I do.
Without going into graphic detail, I think anybody can look it up on the news, what happened in Hamburg. And yeah, somebody wrote to me yesterday, very long mail, and they just too affected by my videos. They can't manage to watch anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just too much. And what interests me is it did actually reach to Hamburg, which is what I was very concerned with, because that was one of my students there, and their family narrowly escaped. And
wow.
I don't regret what I'm doing. I don't regret the awareness. I don't regret the stands that I'm making when it comes to spiritual abuse, because that Hamburg situation, as far as I can see in my book, we should have prevented that. We should have prevented it with the right kind of policies. Now, I admit I don't know all the details, but from the bit of details that I had before information was shut down, that was a case in point. That was a case in point of a mental health crisis that went out of control because of bad policies. I'm open to correction on this, but I felt in some way, although I have to sort out my own head on this, I felt in my own way that I bear a measure of responsibility because I'm part of society, and in a way I contributed to that family being in danger. In my rationalization, I realized that you can't prevent these kind of disasters from happening. So yes, I am more reconciled, but I'm more reconciled because of the awareness that is taking place in these kind of free discussions, Linda James, where we can talk about how the spiritual abuse affects people and how we need to be on guard and we need to use critical thinking, and we actually need to stop this weaponized shunning. That's what I think it's about. We've got to stop it because it's weaponized, and it's not about protecting spirituality of the congregation. That's a facade. It's about preventing liability. That's what that's about. It's a elaborate gag order. Am I talking?
Absolutely. No, you are so spot on. The point is they don't want, well, the leadership does not want those that remain in the organization to find out anything we know.
Yeah. Because they are quite content for, I'm going to use the terminology, fornication, theft, illegal business deals, people screwing, excuse my language, people being dishonest in business practices. You can do anything you like. You can do anything you like. Sorry.
Yep.
I am wrong. The thing you can't do is make people aware. That's the sin against the Holy Spirit in that religious context. That's the unforgivable sin.
You mean the thing that has no personality, the Holy Spirit? You can actually sin against this?
Yes, it's when Matt Gray opens his mouth and makes people aware through education that there is the potential for abuse to happen. That's the unforgivable sin. Or the unforgivable sin is making enforcement agents aware or police aware that there is abuse happening, or that there is a double bind order that is coming from the elders to bring community into jeopardy or into harm's way, that is being protected by that artificial authority structure. And it's going against both law and doctrine. I think I've been plugging that for ages. So, Dallas, the language ain't wrong, Matthew. Dallas, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, it's you don't have to keep quiet about it. This is what has affected you and still is. So I get it. And I'm not going to stop talking about ICE, okay? It's still affecting me.
So no, sorry, Linda James, but that was this pain in the neck this week.
Yeah.
And I got that message from Germany, and it was like I didn't reply with anything. I just sent a heart back. That was all I could manage.
And you know
because what? I know that they're really cut up about it. They are traumatized by this thing. Obviously, people were unalived in that situation. It's a disaster.
Yeah.
And when they wrote to me, they were saying, "Oh, this is what happened." Do you ever get a letter where they go, "Oh, it's somebody in the congregation," Linda James? Imagine somebody in the congregation goes, "Oh, I really respect you, I love you," and they tell you all the wonderful qualities about you, and then they say, "Oh, we hope that you're going to stay strong with Jehovah. We're really concerned about your relationship with Jehovah. I can't watch your videos anymore. Can't associate with you. Can't associate with your family. And I'm really affected by what's happened to you. But don't leave Jehovah." It was one of those kind of letters.
Yes. That sense of obligation. And you might not have left Jehovah, but they've assumed you have, right?
They've assumed, yeah. And if they've actually watched my video, but Linda James, you know how my mind works more than most, all right? You realize that I am endeavoring to, if I have an audience, or if videos of mine or my presentation to police has got branch attention, and there is a means to lever things to make a positive change, I'm absolutely going to pursue that. That's what it's all about. Yes. Person says, "Oh, Matt, what is about your belief or whatever?" I have not stated my belief. I have focused in on there is an abusive situation. There are persons that are in danger, facing danger right now, and the situation is we've got an audience. Yeah, there's a communication going on, and there's a jostling going on, and there is a fracture going on. And as long as I can see that there is that fracture going on, I go, well, that there is some sort of traction, that there's the back and forth going on, discussing policies and whether they should be changed or not. And I feel that there is a pressure that's coming on from a government, that's coming from human rights agents, and to me, that's a good thing. I feel I'm realistic. I don't put my hopes over the top and say, "Hey, we're winning. We're gonna blast the Death Star here," or whatever. I just go, I see that there is some kind of traction, and while that is happening, that's a good sign, because hopefully all of those things coming together around the world, whether it's 6 Screens or whether it's your channel or it's all of these channels coming together and all of these discussions happening, and Bethel's getting worried, and one elder differs from another elder, all of that should now bring up the momentum to effect a change. That's what happened with the beards thing.
Yes.
So I have hope, but I'm not overly optimistic, and I'm certainly not saying, we're going to finish this to go. We might not.
Right. Exactly. And yes, we might hope for change and justice, and just ourselves alone cannot make that happen. So whistleblowing might bring it to the attention of those that can encourage change to happen by maybe, you might not get your funds unless you all change. Sometimes when they hear that story, they might be encouraged to change. Um, we can't hold them accountable, and personally, I don't have this mindset of, oh, I'm going to bring the organization down and all this. My mindset is, let's get equipped to make it to where we don't fall for something like this again, because we're either born into it or we fell for it before, and maybe we've been in other situations. Maybe this just feels like home, like a normal Tuesday for us. And why does it feel like that to us? Maybe we've been groomed for abuse. And since we haven't recognized it so far, learning the techniques and tactics that abusers use is really what I want this channel to be about.
Owen's asking how long did it take for my beard to grow. I said 2 years. But you know what that was all about? That was, I told you the story. I was assigned to the young man to tell him he was disqualified for privileges of service, though he was working his backside off, doing all the work of the elders. But he, who came in, gave talks, had beards, but he was disqualified for his beard. And I think that was it. I got sick, and then I just let this grow. I was going, I'm not taking this off.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that answers our audience there. Yeah, this happened due to a health crisis. It happened to trauma, but it was also that issue because there was a tremendous amount of research that went into the branch about it, because it was just abusive again. And that was exactly when the beards policy changed. It was probably an alignment of Norway and a whole series of synchronicities, but it all came together at that period. That's when I left this on. I just said, yeah, well, I'm not going to have it nicely trimmed. I'm going to be the wizard of the Lord of the Rings, or whatever it is, or Father Christmas. I even sent out messages this week. Ho, 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 ho. I was doing Father Christmas.
Wow. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I got it. What was it? Rick was saying, get into the spirit. I was in the spirit this week.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I was watching Bart Ehrman talk about Christmas this week. Where it came from and all that. And yes, it has pagan roots. And Bart Ehrman he has actually retired. So he was a professor in North Carolina. He was originally a Christian and today is not a believer, but he taught Christology in North Carolina. So I listened also to his retirement talk too. It was pretty cool, which you would be able to find on his channel, which is literally called Bart Ehrman. I've enjoyed the way he talks because he makes it to where a layperson such as myself can understand what he's talking about, and he doesn't take himself too seriously, nor what he's talking about too seriously. And one of the favorite things that I've heard him say is that when he starts a semester, he likes to ask his students, What was Jesus's last name? So you get
Christ.
so it's papers, but yeah, a lot of them say Christ um, of Galilee, and I don't even think there's an answer to that, but he just loves to find out what their answers are going to be.
Wow.
So yeah, he's a pretty cool teacher. And now he's still going to be doing his thing, but he's just not going to be a professor in North Carolina. So there's that. Again, Bart Ehrman teaches Christology, which is the history of Christ. He's not teaching theology, which is
Okay.
the study of the Bible or the study of the God of the Bible, or it could be any
Yeah.
God.
Well, the thing about Christmas is it also fits into Kabbalah, it fits into Buddhism, it fits into many different metaphors or spiritual outlooks, or even the tree. What is it? It's if you think of the Kundalini from the base, which is your red sphere, which is your root chakra. That's the red ball that you have. You got all these little balls on the tree, right? And then at the top is the star. So that's your crown chakra.
Ah, okay.
Right. So
Right.
so that's moving through the hero's journey again. So if you think about the Shephirot, the Kabbalah Shephirot, or the moving through the shields, or the tree of life, moving through those through the Kabbalah, it's the same as the tree. And so again, that becomes the tree of life, or the tree of Eden, and it fits in with theosophy again, the fall. It's the same concept. So you can go to Zoroastrianism, you can go to Shintoism, and you can see that, yes, it's not just, oh, we write it off as pagan, that's it. There's all sorts of facets that can open up. Jamar says Christmas, Egyptian origin. Yeah, it fits all of those things. Solomon's Temple, it fits into that.
Isn't the definition of pagan anything that's a teaching that's not of Christ or not of Jehovah? So any other teachings are, for instance, Native American, or
Right.
that would be considered pagan.
Yeah, well, Christ killed Pan. That's the saying. Pan is dead. Pan is dead because Christ replaced him. And then of course, in modern times, Christ is dead, or God is dead. So it's just these. Let's go into ufology. That is a framework. A person can be a fanatic in it, or they can look at it and say, well, that's a framework for our understanding of events, or our imagination, or our psyche. It's a way of looking at things to try and make sense of things. And that's what religion should be, if you take away dogma, or you take away it being a closed system.
Are you talking like chronology?
Ufology.
Okay.
So somebody who summons a UFO, for instance. But it's somebody who believes in UFOs or UAPs, which has been a big discussion in 2025 in Congress and in top tier circles.
What is USP?
Unidentified flying objects.
Okay.
Or the other term is UAP or UFO. So it's like seeing a little orb or a little flying saucer. But
Yes.
you can also take a photograph and you could see a sundog, or you could see a weather balloon. You don't always have to say, oh, well, that's an extraterrestrial. There could be another reason for it. But UFO culture it becomes very, very religious, or it could become very, very religious, depending on how you look at it. Or you could say it's a useful framework in order to try and make sense of things, as long as you're not dogmatic about it.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And isn't that
And
something that we humans have always been trying to do?
yeah.
For instance, there'd be a volcano that would go off or an earthquake. So the people would call it a god because it's
Yeah, there we
just
go.
so horrendous. I don't
Yes,
know. To make sense of it, the god of
that's it.
whatever,
Yeah.
it's something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah. Have you ever seen these mandalas? So, like in Hinduism, you'll have a picture and it's almost like a flower, and it's little shapes, and you can stare at it for meditative process. So,
Yes.
a mandala, yeah, or a fractal. You can look at a fractal, and it's got these mathematical repeats, for instance.
Oh yeah.
So if you close your mind and you're in a meditative state and you happen to see one of those things, I could plant into your mind that is a UFO.
Ah, okay.
And so now by my influencing you or imposing my belief system, yes, that's a UFO. You see, so you could affect other person's psychology, and that's how essentially religion forms. You could have a proto-religion that forms in that way. Am I confusing everybody?
Well, we had one here in San Diego, in Southern California.
Right.
We had a UFO cult, and that was right about the time that John Jalalich was working with this other gal that I can't think of her name, and that's right about the time she came on the scene as a cult expert. I can't think of the name of what that group was, but that was pretty gnarly. They all had Nikes on, and they all committed suicide. It was pretty bad.
Oh, right. Okay, so that was Heaven's Gate cult.
Thank you. That's exactly it. Yes.
And that's a very interesting story, because you had legitimate remote viewers who did pick up data, but the way that was transmitted, it went to Heaven's Gate cult. So it's a complex mess. So you had persons.
Their website is still there today. They have somebody running it.
Wasn't that Applewhite?
Yes.
That was Applewhite.
Have you ever seen memes with him and Let?
Yeah, they look very similar. Eh?
Similar, yeah.
Actually, Applewhite looks a little saner.
True. Applewhite was gay too, and unfortunately, that didn't work too well for him. I think he was raised
because he did like Tertullian, or they. I don't know if I'm allowed to say they snipped off something essential.
True. Yes, many of the yes, that was going on.
I think Grow would approve of the way I'm making that clear without triggering anything.
They were self-Enochs. They were turning into
self-Enochs. Yeah, there we go. Eunuchs.
That's it. Eunuchs. Thank you. God, tonight I'm having one of those nights where it's like, ugh, my neurons are not all connecting, but it's all good. Y'all know how I am.
So the way that Heaven's Gate that happened was you had a couple of remote viewers from SRI.
You're kidding me.
That stemmed from SRI. It stemmed from the Stargate program, and it got relayed, and it created this.
Wow.
Oh gosh! It created this situation. In fact, you know who's pretty au fait with that is Professor Courtney Brown. He can tell you about how that happened. So anybody who wants to find out about the Heaven's Gate, Professor Courtney Brown, whether you agree with him or not, he's a very interesting character. And I would put it this way: just look at it as a framework. You don't have to agree with him. Just he endeavors to put things in a way to try and make it easier for a person to decipher what's going on without it becoming too complex. So he has built a framework along with Lynn Buchanan to try and make sense of things. But when you were talking about an actual UFO and you had guys with Nikes on and all of that, there is a scientific approach, and the person who did a brilliant study of Ted Owens, who was called the PK Man, all right, who said, "Oh, I'm not predicting. I am causing. I'm the causality of this. If I want to, if there's a UFO, I've caused it to happen. Not I predicted it. Not that I interpreted." He claimed causality. The scientific approach that was done was Dr. Jeffrey Mishlove, and he was essentially assigned by those at SRI, like the physicist Russell Targ or Hal Puthoff. They said we do not want to touch this with a barge pole. We don't. It's too controversial. Right. And we're reporting to government. We cannot afford to have somebody that's egotistical or drawing so much attention to themselves. We've actually got to downplay things. You're a clinical psychologist. You also got a degree in criminology. Can you deal with this? Just take this off our hands, please, and deflect it. And Jeffrey basically said, well, I'm going to do a scientific approach. I'm going to make this a dissertation or a thesis. I'm going to make a proper scientific discipline with this. And he challenged Ted Owens. He says, all right, okay, you say that you can bring about UFOs. Well, bring about one. I'm going to put you on the spot. Let's see. You claim being able to have causality here. Do it. And and he had a high success percentage that's still being studied. Dallas says being Courtney is like being called as a male. Okay. Dallas also Marshall Applewhite is the full name.
Yes.
But there we've got an example of drinking the Kool-Aid again, because they all felt that if they popped themselves off the scene, that they would rematerialize on the UFO or whatever.
Right, that like they were going to get to be on that. Oh gosh, I don't remember what.
Hale-Bopp comet was being followed by a UFO. That was the idea. Yeah.
And they were going to be able to catch a ride on it or something to that effect. It was gnarly. And they made videos of themselves just before they planned to catch that. That was amazing. That's right.
Because in the UFO culture, or if you want to say New Age culture or UFO come New Age convergence, you've got that book, Interview with an Extraterrestrial, which, funnily enough, aligns with the Awake magazine of 1990. I don't know if it was November, that article. I get confused sometimes, but there was the UFO article in 1990 that Watchtower printed, and it aligned with that narrative of the Interview with an Extraterrestrial, because the extraterrestrial explains who Jehovah or Yahweh is, and you can either use it for good or you can use it for bad. It can actually, if you're coming out of high control cult, for instance, it can have the effect of dehypnotizing you, but it's a two-edged sword. It can also send you the other way as well. But it's a very interesting read, because it goes directly into Jehovah and the whole JW culture.
Okay.
Then there's a film called Brother John with who's the actor? There's a very well-known actor, Brother John. Film, Brother John film.
I remember Father Guido Segucci from Saturday Night Live.
Do you ever remember an actor, Sidney Poitier?
Yes.
Sidney Poitier acted as Brother John.
Okay.
And so that is a film that is used by in UFO culture as well, because the idea is that Brother John looks human, but he isn't. It's quite an advanced film, very advanced film, which is why, you know, Sydney did that film. So it would align with David Bowie, for instance, his ideas. It would align with Theosophy or Thelema. It aligns with all of that stuff.
Okay.
I'm getting into the weird zone.
You do that. But you know what? It seems to just come pretty natural to you, and it's something that.
Well, listen, I've been in Africa. So look, in Africa, Zulu culture. Zulu culture has got a whole story with us.
Oh, I can imagine.
The whole thing works.
What I'm saying is, this is the kind of stuff you're drawn to, and you learn about it. So yeah. It's just weird to people that aren't familiar with it. That's all. You're drawn.
Yeah. So I was stationed where L. Ron Hubbard was developing Dianetics. That I was stationed there. I was stationed in Mount Inyangani, which is if you want to call it a spiritual retreat or a spiritual hotspot or a UFO hotspot. That's it. You've got people coming out of there claiming that they can control lightning. And
wow, okay.
You know, if you want to talk about, I know some of some of the persons that tune into your show, they've got Reiki practice, which is like a remote healing practice, or sending love and light and healing persons with energy practices. Okay, I've oversimplified. But I know that there's some in the comments that have spoken about that. That just all developed in places like Mount Inyangani. That's your African version, and that's where L. Ron Hubbard was. And some of your guys at SRI, they were connected with Scientology. And yes, although Scientology has been regarded as a cult, and you've got some abusive aspects that are going in there, and Danny Masterson is a big controversy that's a massive case in that side. I have heard top psychologists say, oh, just hold on a second. Yes, this may be the case, and we're not endorsing this or denigrating it. L. Ron Hubbard was onto something, and this is coming from top tier psychologists.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that is the eclectic view. It's saying, oh, well, there is something foundational there that's working. So even if you take something like holding the cans, for instance, and doing an audit, are you clear? What is that? Is there something useful? Well, why do we do these kind of shows? We say, well, this is for persons that are recovering or that are interested in these subjects of recovery or truth seekers. It can be downright dirty and downright muddy, and we don't always get the conversations quite right. But the idea is having community where there's talking and being present together in a respectful way that is able to get some kind of truth out, even if it's our own personal truth, because that's the way to heal. And isn't that the way that, technically speaking, Scientology is supposed to work? Well, it's also the way that it's supposed to work in JW culture when you go and confess to elders and you view them as spiritual healers. You induce, hopefully, a catharsis in a healthy situation. That's what's supposed to happen. But, it's hijacked.
We would trust their directions to get to a better place, mentally, physically, eternally. It's all set up in such a way that we will be elevated better than we are today, right?
Yeah, Have you gone through catharsis? I have. I went through a situation in full faith and did confessional with the idea that it had been troubling my conscience, or it was an act of trust. Did I feel better? Did I have a profound effect after that? Yeah, sure, did. I can't say that didn't happen. Oh, I even had a health issue that cleared up instantly. Why? Because it was psycho-spiritual in nature.
Okay.
You know? And I've seen it happen. I've seen persons with diabetes or blood pressure, and the blood pressure comes down. You know, it's like 200 or something. You know, the blood pressure, stoic, the numbers are off the chart, and they confess, and it's genuine, and it's done in faith, and you do a check on the blood pressure, and it comes down, or whatever they perceived as diabetes or stomach conditions or IBS, and sometimes it's so profound you think you're a real miracle worker. So I can't ignore the psycho-spiritual connection. I've seen those results. And again, I've seen in hospitals with doctorates and persons who have professors, they say, what is the psycho-spiritual outlook of the person on the medical file? They've said it. And this is not woo-woo. This is actually happening within respected hospitals. So, you know.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. And it's the same thing as the baby that's near the door who gets attention, right?
Oh, yeah.
Corner.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That would be the baby that gets held. And the other babies don't. And they die.
Purple says clear, mostly opaque. But if you can shine a bright enough light, you can kind of see through my hand. Maybe that's X-rays. Yeah. So, Linda James, what are we talking about? Ice.
Right now, you're talking about the baby that ends up getting picked up and cared for. And that's based on a story of infants that were like put in a shelter or an orphanage or something to that effect. And the only one that got attention was the ones at the end, or one at the end. So
Yeah.
that one did get picked up. That one did get rocked and held. And because the other ones did not, they did not survive.
Yeah, that's my attempt to remove the woo-woo. That's saying, well, we can relate to the fact that there's an emotional connection and it has the power to heal. So if somebody is studying, you know, energy healing, for instance, can you discount it and say, well, you know, it's just a lot of rubbish, or it's pseudoscience?
Right. Some people might see it that way, and some others don't. There was a guy named James Randi, I believe, and have you heard of him?
I can't say that I recall.
Okay, so he used to be a magician, and so he would reveal the tricks of magicians and basically expose people that were doing fake woo-woo, faith healers, things like that. He would expose them. And that was a thing he did. He's no longer with us, but he was quite amazing.
I see Borna JW says light and sound. Happy Thought says communication can sometimes come on cosmic waves of silence. That was what the whole Gregorian chants was about. It was healing with frequency. It was why there was different colored stained glass in churches, because that would realign your frequencies, or your chakras, which is represented by different colors, starting from red, going up to violet, you know, this was the idea, was
Right.
that these things would all realign you. The music, or the biblical musicians in the time of Solomon, the singers and the chanting and the musical instruments. This was what it was all about. This is why they say, oh, well, our music is hijacked now because it's on different kinds of frequencies that are not truly compatible with us. And they expose these frequencies on these frequency plates, for instance, and they show you, well, look what happens when you put sound there, and you get this shape here, and you can see that there's this beautiful resonance that happens. And then when we expose it to noise, it's chaos. This is the principles that are involved. 432 born at JW knows exactly what you're talking about. So here's the frequencies. Yeah.
By the way, I'm using my I Love Pimos coffee cup tonight because I do love Pimos. Yes.
Who does that support, Linda James?
Pimos, people that are physically in yet mentally out. And so there's a lot of people that are physically in the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses, yet they're mentally out and don't necessarily believe the belief system of the organization, but they choose to remain there for various reasons. It could be because they will be cut off from their family. It could be because they want to help other people leave, all kinds of reasons. So there are still people in the organization that are true believers, and then there's people that are. There are still people in the organization. So that is Gail, Gigi. Hi, Gigi.
Good evening. I couldn't sleep, and I happened to put YouTube on, and I saw you guys.
Oh my God! I'm glad you joined us.
Great being with you.
Hi.
This is a treat. This is a
cool.
real treat.
I wanted to add about the I don't know if it was an experiment about people that were hugged and people who weren't. I
Yes.
remember, because I'm a Vietnam generation, I remember after the Vietnam War, there were a lot of orphans left behind that weren't
Okay.
wanted. And I remember this nurse, this beautiful, beautiful nurse, she discovered that the babies that she held and sang to thrived. And the
Yes.
babies that obviously she wasn't able to reach every children all the time, but the ones that she did, they thrived. And the ones that unfortunately she wasn't able to hold, or they weren't held by other nurses, didn't thrive or survive. So they also did a study with monkeys, a scientific study where they had I forgot what it's called in science. We have one group experiment, and you have a non-group and a regular group. In one group, they fed the animals, and the other group, actually they were monkeys. I'm sorry. One group, they fed them, they gave them attention, and the other group, they purposely ignored them to see if human touch was very important to survival of mankind, which I'm a firm believer in that myself. So
absolutely. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's I'm being chatty Candy because I can't sleep.
No, I'm really glad you joined us. No, as a hairdresser, when I was, doing what I was doing, I was always in someone's space and in their hair. So I would be touching them, and not only was it soothing for them, it was soothing for me.
Yes.
To be touching others, to be grooming them, and some people, when you start working on their hair, they just automatically go into this zone of falling asleep. And they go, oh no, it's coming. I'm one of those. I'm like, it's all good, and I'm just
because you can relax. You can relax when you get your hair done. I was getting my eyelashes done the other day, and I fell asleep while she was doing my eyelashes. I'm being vain. I'm getting my eyelashes
done.
Good
for you. You're
I'm so pleased that you're with us, Gail. I'm pleased as punch.
Oh, I'm so sweet. Thank you.
I feel like I haven't spoken to you for ages.
Well, I wasn't feeling well, and I just listened sometimes, and I was going to try and go on when she had that nice woman Dan. I really liked what she had to say, but I was just going to mention along that topic of how we need the human touch. I don't know if you know who John Bradshaw is.
Yes.
Well, John Bradshaw wrote a book, The Child Within, and he did experiments with full-grown football players. He had them all in a circle, and he had this woman with this angelic voice. She went around and tapped each guy, and when she tapped them, she'd say, "I love you," and the next one she'd say, "I'm so happy you were born," and then the next one, and so on and so on. They all started crying. And
Oh my
his
gosh,
point,
yes.
his point was, if you're not nurtured as a child, and I guess a lot of these guys weren't, myself included. My mother never really hugged me either. So I that's why I probably got into the mental health field. Well, it was amazing. His work was amazing. Actually, Oprah Winfrey is the one who introduced him to population, because he did a lot of good work with The Child Within.
Yeah. Dallas just joined us. Welcome, Dallas.
Hi,
Howdy,
Dallas.
Dallas.
Well, how they y'all?
What are you doing up this early?
He's usually here.
Oh, is he?
He's
What?
hanging out with friends tonight, and he's still here. I'm like, stop it! Just hang with your friends. You can. But here
What
you
time
are.
did you-
I
what time did you
actually
start?
that's something I like to do, but I wasn't really there. That's what I meant to,
Oh, I see.
to share.
I misunderstood you then.
It,
Yeah.
I've been going out in the morning lately at 6 o'clock. Sometimes being out and then alert by before 5.
That's
And
about the time
sometimes
I go to sleep. I go to sleep
some-
about 6 a.m.
sometimes be in the door at the establishment to eat at 6 a.m.
Yikes.
What kind of place do you go to?
It's an independent locally, Aberdeen, North Carolina.
Is it a coffee shop or something
It
like
is it's a diner kind of place,
that? Okay.
and independent.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
know-
local
Yeah.
place,
Yeah.
and y'all like to enjoy certain things there. I think y'all like to have yourself some. You can get some biscuits with it,
There you go.
and one thing we're big on that we couldn't think of a menu with no grits.
Oh my gosh. The grits. Mm-hmm.
You into grits?
I know it sounds odd, but yes. Well,
You got great taste now.
thank you. Well, how do you take your grits? How do you like your grits?
A little butter, usually some salt and pepper.
Okay. I use salt. No, I use butter and sugar. So
Oh, yeah.
I discovered that that's the way I like it.
Sometimes I go out there and have me some steak for breakfast.
Okay.
It's never too early for steak. Steak and eggs and coffee.
Yeah.
Some of us like our coffee a different fashion. Most of the time, for me, it's just black most of the time.
Your coffee?
Yeah,
You take your coffee black?
most of the time.
Okay.
I think it balances out certain things. Somebody said, John, he likes his Tabasco on grit.
I can picture that.
Tabasco's I'll eat it on my omelet always every time, but when I have it with hot sauce on it.
Do you like hot sauce?
I like it on certain things.
I'm too weta to like hot sauce, meaning I'm just too white. I'm a sissy. Like I'm a sissy. Don't I don't appreciate the flavor. It just burns my mouth and I don't get the flavor of it. So I'm like a weakling when it comes to that.
Well, I I think that I think there's times when I do love Gilbert's illustrations that he uses.
He's good with illustrations, yeah. What's
But
okay, I've noticed they've been talking about, well, mainly the brother Jesse. That there's some kind
Gilbert,
of
he
thank
uses a Gilbert. He likes to use a certain illustration comparing watch the tower to a certain one with decline.
Sears and Roebuck's didn't rebrand, so they just kind of their business dwindled.
You don't have to remember, but you can learn about history even if you didn't live back then.
Yes.
So that means them or even all JW membership declining. It will. I sometimes think that it would meet the fate. Some of here, might. I don't remember, but some I've met many who remember W.T. Grants.
Oh, I do. We had one here in Massachusetts. And Woolworths.
And Grant's 60s, that was it got to be a big box store, and they were there the target of the 60s and part of the 70s.
And so wasn't Woolworths. Kind of the same.
Kind of like department stores.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All the good stores are all gone anyway.
I learned about Grants and about how he got into business when he was a youth. Old Miss and he and the incident and how it opened, how each store they all had operated their own credit account, and people opening up accounts at different stores. They could go where you are, and then they could go out where Linda is and open another credit account.
Wow. Wow.
Running up bills at different locations.
That was kind of like layaway, but opposite. So they could say they're going to pay for a certain amount, and then they would at the
charge account.
Yeah, and catch up with them at the end of the month or on payday or something like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Not like that, like credit charge account.
Okay.
The charge card.
Okay. Charge card. Okay.
And that's the same way with, I think that with this problem what we talk about that happens, and they can't, as if they're running up, not doing a check and whether they can pay it or not, or background check. That's what it was from, man. They use that as they use W.T. Grants as with that credit account, and because they about how not to operate business, that can apply to many things in life, such as not doing background checks if they can about that their actions.
Are you comparing? Are you saying that Gilbert compared the grant process of
The the sea,
vetting the same way Watchtower does? Am I
the
understanding
seers,
that?
he compares that not being transient with certain ones and not speaking the language of certain ones symbolically. And I
Okay.
just put in the illustration that they're pretty much declined while meeting the fate of seers, and then they'll be fixing to meet the fate of grants, which
Okay.
will be defunct and dead.
Mm.
That would be the death. That's what I. Then I just compare it to the. That would be the death step.
I think Matthew wanted to say something to you.
Go right ahead, Matt.
Oh, no, I was trying to focus a little bit on Gail there. I wanted to hear about how Gail's daughter is, if I'm not putting you too much on the spot there, Gail.
Oh, not at all. And
Go
thank
right
you.
ahead.
And thank you for bringing her up. Well, she just got 6 more months added to her sentence, and that was her fault. She, my daughter is very technical. I mean, she could put together a desk, and she's very computer savvy. But when it comes to herself, she's a dumbbell. And well, she had 3 warrants for her arrest. And I told her to turn herself in because at the time in Massachusetts, all the defense lawyers were on strike. And I said, this is the time to go in front of the judge and plead your case, because they were excusing everybody because they didn't have anybody to represent them.
Oh
But
my
no,
God, that's hilarious. I mean,
she doesn't listen
that
to
is
her
so
mother.
wise.
She didn't listen to her mother. And Miss Heather, she was driving a U-Haul without her license, and she got pulled over because she's a horrible driver, and she always gets pulled over. And then the police ran her name, and they discovered, oh, gee, Heather, you have some warrants for your arrest. So she got arrested on the spot. So she's dealing with 3 counties, and the guy in Waltham, the judge in Waltham, boy, he was pretty rotten. She said he was letting all the migrants out, and then he got a Heather, and he threw the book at her and gave her 6 months added to her already 90-day sentence. So then she went to Peabody, Massachusetts, where she had another warrant, and they're trying to get her into a program. So I'm hoping that the other counties will agree and put her into a program. That's where it's now.
So how much time has she got to do, Gail?
She's been in there since September 28th. So what's that? October, November, 2.5 months. But they added 6 more months, and I don't know why they did that, because they were going to let her go after 3 months. But this judge was a real jerk, and he's the one that added 6 months to her sentence.
Unfair.
But she has a wonderful lawyer, and the lawyer's trying to get her into a program. And if they agree, if she goes to the program, can she get let out maybe in January? Which that's what we're hoping.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the update there.
Hey, thanks for asking. It's never a dull moment in my life.
You know what? I think of her often, actually.
Oh, thank you.
I never give you a call and tell you that, but
thank you.
There's my daughter and your daughter, and they kind of take a similar route in life.
And she's the sweetest. She's a sweet kid too. She's I don't know.
When you were just talking about her, I'm like, oh, absent-minded professor. Okay. Einstein used to walk out of the house and his wife was like, wait a minute, you need to put your pants on, like he forgot his pants. He's just heading to wherever.
I swear she thinks I swear she thinks the laws don't apply to her for some reason.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Wow.
I call her and her boyfriend Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, really?
I got nicknames for everybody.
Oh, that's too funny.
That's how I was brought up like that. That's how the Italians were in my household. Everybody had names for each other. We all loved each other, but we used to make fun of each other.
Listen,
I,
I've got a few names for you, Gail, of people giving me a hard time. Can I send them your way
Hi, go ahead. What are they?
for your Italian network?
What is it?
Yeah.
I think
This
I
is
missed
like
what you said. There was a few
Yeah,
people that.
just take them right out for me, please.
Oh, okay. They might.
No, what were you saying? No, tell me. I want to
People
hear
you
this.
know of? Yeah,
wanna
say
hear
it again
this,
for us,
Matthew.
please.
Go ahead, Matthew. I can take it.
Yeah, no, I don't know what I can say on I don't know how I can joke on YouTube without triggering some kind of trouble, you know. I just
Go
know
ahead.
that
Who's
whatever
gonna
I
be
say, I've got to
who
be
else
ultra,
gonna be
ultra
listening?
careful.
Who's going to be listening at this time? Go right ahead. You have my permission.
Yeah,
There are people that listen the next day or some other time.
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
But
Because
I
it doesn't
understand.
go. That's right. It
There's,
doesn't go
there's
away.
this reputation that if you're in the Italian network and you go to the Italian family, you say, "Listen, I got a few people giving me trouble." They say, "No, don't worry, just send me the list. We'll take care of it."
Well, I'm not.
Okay.
It's not funny. I do have an uncle that was in the mob, but he's dead.
Yeah, you see, there we go. Yeah, that's why I said I get into trouble, you know, just with my dark humor.
Well, this is funny. This is a funny story because his son is a Hell's Angels. He's actually in your state, Linda.
Mafia and Hell's Angels.
Well,
Jeez, yeah.
well,
that kind of went south real fast, eh, Dallas?
Wow.
and he's in your state right now
I
for
Mine?
murder. He's in your state
My-
for murder. Yeah. He's
Of
had the
course.
Hells Angels in Boston, Massachusetts. Oh, it's a brutal. I'm not even going to discuss what they did to this
No.
poor guy. Well, anyway, my uncle Oscar was their dad, and he would interview all the Hells Angels before do a okay. Actually, the Hells Angels do all the hits for the mob. I found that out.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. They do a lot of hits for the mob. So
Wow.
that's how they're all interconnected. But so if
Wow.
I did
Oh.
once, I'll confess, I did have to ask my uncle for a favor once. He didn't hurt anybody, but he took care. And actually, it was a Jehovah's Witness that was involved. Her boyfriend was in
Okay.
prison, and her boyfriend's father he was in the mob, and he was friends with my uncle. Well,
Okay.
he's been talking to Jane, and Jane's a Jehovah's Witness today, and something happened where someone flipped out that he said something and he wasn't supposed to, and I said to my uncle, I said, you got to help my girlfriend out. She might be in trouble because she owned her own salon and she was getting gunshots through a window.
Yeah.
Crumbs.
So I had to call up my uncle Oscar and see if he could help out, and he did. He took care of the situation without hurting anybody.
That's so
Okay.
awesome.
Good times, eh? Good times.
Oh, I got a million stories.
It's all about who you know
It
in every
is.
situation, isn't it?
Well,
I mean,
I wanted to finish this. This is hysterical. At my uncle's wake, they had like the soprano guys coming in with hair pieces and gold chains, and then you get all these big, huge Hell's Angel guys coming in. And my poor aunt, I thought she was going to have a heart attack. She goes, "I'm in a soprano movie," because the guys that was my uncle, they had these stupid gold chains on. The guy had a toupee on, a bad toupee. And the Hells Angels all come in with their jackets on, and they're like 7 feet tall. Oh,
I know, right?
oh gosh, that was hysterical.
Yeah.
I come
Wow.
from that generation where you don't get a tattoo, otherwise you'll be associated with the Hells Angels or criminals within the prison system. I can't get a tattoo because that's what it means to me. But my kids,
Uh-huh.
all 3 of them have tattoos.
That's the
oldest
thing.
daughter
Everybody's getting
Has
tattoos
become a
today.
tattoo artist,
Mhm.
and it's just art. They don't have it. They don't see it the way I see it at all.
I don't mind a little tattoos. I don't like the sleeves though. I don't like those.
Sure.
But I don't mind tattoos. I was thinking of getting one, but then I said, I'm 75. What the hell am I getting a tattoo for at my age?
Because you are your age. I mean, that'd be cool. Birthday present to yourself if you want to.
Well, if you want good tattoos, you got to visit my cousin.
Is he a good? Is he here in the United States?
He travels all over the place. So
Is he a good artist?
Oh yeah, he's very good.
Oh,
Wow, he travels. A tattoo artist that travels.
cool.
Amazing.
Oh, he must be expensive.
Well respected. I think he's on Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah. Bradley Conradi. That's his
What a-
name.
Cool name.
Bradley Conradi, yeah. So, I mean, he's the kind of guy. I mean, what is it? You got these, what's it, real life shows that feature on, I don't know, you had MTV or.
Yeah, it's called the Ink Master.
Yeah, so it's that kind of thing. But he's well respected. He really is. I mean, his talent is incredible. Also, I think he went through a stage where they were doing tattoo reversals too. You know, with laser
Oh, what's that? To take it off?
laser treatment. So if you had a tattoo you didn't like, they'd use a laser frequency and then they'd take it off and blast it. But yeah, when it comes to actual art, he's brilliant.
That's why I tell people, don't put somebody's name on your tattoo on your arm. Don't tattoo a name on your arm. I see so many people doing that, then they put something over it and it looks awful.
Yeah. Purple says, I still need to get my tattoo to memorize Sloth Girl, but I haven't had the money.
See,
Slut girl?
sloth girl.
Oh,
So,
I'm sorry. I thought you said slut. I'm sorry.
I know it sounds kind of odd, but that was what she went by, sloth girl.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Dallas.
So some cultures won't put the name of someone on them until they've
Oh yeah.
crossed over, and sloth girl has already died. So
Who's Sloth Girl? Sorry, forgive my ignorance. Who is that?
I thought you called it.
I did. I read it out, but I'm ignorant.
Oh, I thought you knew her. I don't know who it is.
No,
I
was
know
laughing
of,
at
I,
everybody
I
else
know
on
of
it.
her when I was getting to know Purple. She's talked about her, but I
Oh,
never knew her.
she just said that in the chat.
Yeah, no, I was just reading out the chat, Gal.
So when Purple brought her up, I'm familiar with that person being Purple's previous fiance. They were together for years.
Yeah, that's the thing that was the point that you were making, Gail. Don't get the name done, you know.
I
Because
was thinking of getting a scripture on my arm.
a scripture.
Yeah.
People have done that.
What would you choose?
1 Corinthians 13 about love.
Okay, there we go. Good choice.
And I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor.
Gloria Gaynor. First, I was afraid. I was petrified. Yes. I tell my kids at my funeral, you will have Brick House played.
Oh, I love that song
With
too.
I Can Only Imagine. I want both of those songs played at my funeral.
Purple's corrected us. Not my fiance with Sloth Girl. It was never sexual or romantic.
Oh, forgive me.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
way off. Then. Thank you for the correction. I
Thank you.
apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my bad. Forgive me. Then I've heard the story wrong. Ooh.
But the correction was Sloth Girl was my lifelong companion who died 1.5 years ago.
How old was she? Purple, how old was she? I suppose I should write it down. Huh?
Let's see if Purple tells us. Yeah. Well, sorry for that. My late fiance died 2014. The only tattoo I currently have is her sigil on my arm.
Oh,
So let me ask, Purple, this was the one that had a brain aneurysm, correct?
Mm. Happy thoughts. I feel like I've led a very sheltered life.
So have I.
You can join my family.
Yeah. But now you see, this is the thing, Gail. The great spiritual leaders go through what is it? Intense living. Why? Because when you survive, you've worked out how to survive.
This is true. This is true. I am a survivor.
Purple's answered you. Sloth Girl was 59. She'd been battling cancer for 4 years.
That's awful. Terrible.
There you go.
Matthew, what time is it where you are?
It is now 9:11
In the morning?
in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah. So we were listening to Rick last night, and who was before? Oh, Barbara Anderson was before that.
Oh, I love Barbara.
I love Barbara myself, but I missed part of the show because I dozed off in there. But I got in part of it, and I love her and Curry right on there.
Yeah, it was very interesting, her information. I wanted to ask her some questions about the writing department and research department. I'm hoping sometime that we might be able to connect, because I believe South Africa writing department significantly affected the world, such as The Shining as Illuminator's book. We produced a lot of stuff that shaped the organization here. And I wanted to ask her about Catherine Cook. I wanted to ask her about Dave Caracas, who is now retired at Fishkill. And I wanted to ask her about Reno Sanders, because these are the people who trained me.
Oh.
And I know that like Kathy Cook and Caracas and Sanders, they've been writing since late 1970s and 80s. They're still going. So I'm thinking if Barbara had been doing what she'd been doing for as long as she had, it would have been an inevitability, I assume, that she would have rubbed shoulders with them or had some kind of contact with South Africa branch. Oh, Jack Jones. Jack Jones was instrumental in MEPS, the multilingual electronic photo typesetting system.
Wow.
He was South African. So, these are people that ended up moving to and fro from South Africa to world headquarters. So that would have been very, very interesting, because if we can make that connection, that would expand her books that she's releasing to how America or headquarters affected the rest of the world very significantly, because South Africa branch cares for the entire continent, all the way up to Nigeria, all the way up to Egypt.
Wow. Where's the branch located?
Johannesburg. And the river that's there in Johannesburg, because Johannesburg there was this big gold rush. And your history is Cecil John Rhodes established the railway from Cape Town to Cairo. And that's all about mining. All right. So, and again, that's late 1800s, same kind of time period that, Watchtower became incorporated in 1879. Well, yes, it was established prior to 1879. But that history that's going back here, where the branch office started off in Cape Town, and they controlled things all the way to Congo and yes, now to Egypt. It would be very interesting to see if Barbara had some kind of connection, because we've got our own stories about Ray France here. We've got our own stories.
Let me just interrupt real quick and say regarding Purple that she said my late fiance had a blood clot. So when I said aneurysm, I was talking about the blood clot go to her brain, and she died before the paramedics got to the house.
Oh gosh.
And my late fiance died in 2014. So that's a different person than Sloth Girl. And when he says lifelong companion, I thought that she was a fiance as well. So I got them all mixed up. Sorry about that. And thank you for the correction, Purple. I appreciate that.
Sheila's leaving us. She says, I'm going to leave you all. Have a great week. Lots of love to you all. Six hugs or kisses.
Yeah, that's what they are. The kisses. The little X's are kisses, and the little zeros or O's are hugs.
Yeah.
Okay, zero's a hug. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
We did that when we were little kids, the XX00. Matthew, did you know a circuit officer named Brother Link? He was from Africa. His name was Brother Link.
Yankee.
Yes, Link.
Can't say I do.
Okay. He came to the United States. Oh, gosh. I wasn't at 1977. I think he came in around the 90s. Well, he said the United States was terrifying, and he was going back to Africa because he said it was very demonic here in the United States. He was given talks in different congregations, and I remember him. I had his tape because we had tapes back then, and I lent it out, and of course he lends. Every time I lend something out, I never get it back. Well, anyway, yeah, I remember, and that stuck in my head. He said he was safer going back to Africa than he was here in the United States. I just thought that was pretty interesting that he said that.
Yeah, that's interesting because so let me give you a little bit of story about what's happening in South Africa. So South Africa had its own hospital at the branch. They called it the family. Is it medical? But they didn't use hospital. Okay. And the other thing too is it was declared a township. So you can think about a Lloydial title, but the river that comes out from the branch, or that goes down the valley where the branch has got water rights to, it terminates all the way to the Crocodile River at the Limpopo, which is at the border of Zimbabwe. It actually terminates out in the ocean, on the Indian Ocean, and that current travels all the way down to Cape Town. So it's incredible the amount of territory that river touches.
Wow.
So it's just very, very interesting, because if the branch pollutes that river, essentially they're polluting that river all the way through large stretches of land. It's incredible, and going through to the ocean. But giving you a little bit of history, it's got its own printery. So the printery is massive, absolutely massive. It's comparable with the printery in the States, or the printery in Germany, or the printery in Japan. And our shipping gets things through to Ethiopia or to Somalia. We have to deal with pirates. We have to deal with all kinds of things, and getting supplies even to as far as Egypt, not just Congo. So we've got heavy duty trucks that survive going through rural conditions, and have got to be like real tanks to get through harshest terrain. Yes, we do also use Scanias, but they also use the big hard MAN trucks for getting things through. So literature, we have an extensive history here in Africa, and it would be just really interesting to find out what Barbara Anderson knows about our writing desk and how it affected what she was doing there, and the awareness. Because if I can drop a few names and she goes, oh yeah, that rings a bell, it's going to connect some incredible dots. Really incredible dots, because I've got correspondence going back years with writing desk and research here in South Africa, and the little bit that I did in consultation for proofing watchtowers and the things that I learned, and it would lend that support to having a bigger story, because it is a much bigger story, much bigger.
Have you ever talked to Jeff and Paul from Watchtower History?
No, I haven't, but I am aware of them. I do know of them.
They've got a very comprehensive library. He even has the creation video that Russell made, and he has all. What do you call it when you what's it called when you go to the library and you take it out and you microfilm? Is that what it's called?
Okay.
And he lives in Pennsylvania, so he went to some library in Pennsylvania, he's got literature like you went all the way back, and they're fascinating. They do a lot of historical stuff. They're worth. I actually had a phone conversation with Jeff.
Oh, great.
And because I'm a history buff too, and I was fascinated with the history with the Nazis and also the history with Russell and Rutherford. I actually learned most of my stuff. What I learned from them.
Wow. Oh, great. I'm so glad that you've connected with them, because their work is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yes, it is.
Gail, I rescued or managed to rescue a substantial amount of literature from the writing desk in South Africa before they destroyed it.
Wow, cool.
I've even got first print Watchtower, 1879.
Well, you can go on eBay and they have old literature too. Because I was looking I wanted to look up stuff.
Okay. Do they have the fact that it was from writing desk, the stamp in it?
No, these were publications.
Okay, so this was actually the writing desk's own.
I bet you Paul and Jeff would know because they have all that stuff.
Can I put you guys on hold? I'm going to show you one of these books.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'd love to see it. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. Stand by.
I think
Will do.
I think he's going to go grab something.
Yeah, he is.
Wow, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
A few years back, Michael Wayne
Who's
Moore,
that?
Michael Wayne Moore was in touch with Jeff and myself and Dan Clark, and it was kind of up and down, and then he unalived himself, and it was quite shocking for all of us. And I remember talking to Jeff after that, because I had heard that, okay, so an elder had went to Michael's oldest daughter's job, which she was baptized, and said, your father needs to get back into the org, otherwise you're going to be watching the birds plucking out his eyes, on his dead carcass kind of crap, right? And so it was one of those to persuade her to get him back, because he was once an elder, stepped down, and then he got to a place where he wasn't going any longer. But he was involved in a group of elders that, previous elders. He was involved with Jeff. He was involved with Barbara Anderson, to me, the la creme of the, he's.
Did you say his name was Michael?
Yes.
Is he the one that committed suicide?
Correct.
Oh my gosh. Jeff
So
had,
when I was,
yes,
so when
I know
was
what you're
talking
going to
with
say.
Jeff, he said, I had said that, so Michael decided to show up at this elder's workplace or some other situation. And Jeff goes, did he tell you that he punched him? And I said, nope, but I'd be glad to hear if he ever did.
Me too.
I was like, wow.
I cried when I listened to him, his last video he made. It was heartbreaking. And Jeff was very upset. He did a whole
yes.
podcast because he was trying to reach out to him and he was mad they never did. And Barbara had him on too. I think he was sitting with Barbara.
So Matthew is now showing us.
I can't see it, Matthew.
So it's a print is what you're showing us, correct?
Let me put my glasses on.
Okay.
Can you tell us what it's? I can't see that. What's it say?
Can you see that, guys?
I'm
Yeah.
cockeyed. Oh, go.
But he'll turn it around and read it to us. Yes, I can see that, but I can't
I
read it.
see something. It's like
This book is the property of?
oh yeah, I see that. It's a stamp, right?
Correct. These are actually the books that were used to produce the literature. Watchtower.
Oh.
Wait.
Wow.
Well, that's a big
Look
book.
at that.
So I've got I rescued it before they destroyed it.
How old is it?
1879.
It's in great
my
condition.
God.
Wow.
Why?
Sure.
It's not. No,
It
it's
looks
right
brand
there.
new. Looks brand
So
new.
Wow.
here's
What
the first
pristine.
Watchtower.
New condition.
It does look like new condition.
Yeah, it's in
I
great
think
condition.
that's from. I think that's from Russell's time. That's when it was.
Exactly.
So
It
yeah, you
is
correct.
like
Dallas,
brand new right there.
Who?
brand
The
new.
reason why these are in good condition
Thanks.
is this comes from our own print read. So if things got a bit tattered, they
Yeah.
would rebind them.
Wow.
So we had our own rebinding facility at the branch. So that's why it's all in this kind of condition.
look at that.
But
No, it looks brand new.
well, this is. I'm going to show you this.
Look at that.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
your first
Wow.
Watchtower.
That
Herald
is
of Christ's presence. Herald
Uh-huh.
of Christ's presence. Right on.
That's the one
Watchtower.
right there.
2 words.
Wow.
Yes.
Zion,
That's
Zion
an
Watchtower.
unbelievable condition. I want one of those.
So these were the books. I've got the notes inside. These are the books that were used to produce the actual watchtowers. So we would get an assignment from World Headquarters with an outline, and we would do the fillers, and then that would be sent to governing body teaching and writing, and they would vet it, and you would get your watchtower. Main articles, eh?
That's fascinating.
We contribute. The last time I contributed to Watchtower could be about 2 years ago, or maybe even as little as a year ago. I'm talking about a major article that the congregation is studying.
Wow.
And of course, I wasn't supposed to talk about it, but I wasn't under a non-disclosure agreement. I never signed it.
Huh.
I was a consultant and I did proofing, and but it gave me a tremendous insight into how it is all done.
Well, that's
We now have only one writer left. One.
Wow.
Only one. The staff has been
Yeah.
reduced. It's incredible.
to 8.
But I've got a few more other interesting publications here. This one.
Pastor Russell's sermons
Ah.
with the
Oh,
Wing-
that's
wing
oh
test. Wing
wow.
Why?
That's a gold
Ah.
mine, nephew.
Well, you're a gold mine right there,
Yeah.
Matthew. And you got some critical pieces of evidence right there that too.
Yep.
Yeah,
I've
hold
even
on
got
to those.
I've even got an anointed seal.
Wow.
You know, you get, if you're one of the anointed, you would get a seal.
I
Uh-huh.
haven't heard of this.
Oh, there it is right there. That's unbelievable.
Wow.
On
Really?
behalf of the consecrated saints.
This is-
Interesting.
This is
No,
great.
I did all the exams. I did exams for governing body, written exams.
Wow.
You definitely got to get in touch with Jeff and Paul from the Watchtower History. They'll be fascinated.
I am actually a certified representative of Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of. I think I've got my certificate. Yeah, my certificate. Yeah, hold on. I'll show it to you. Because I tell you something and you can't imagine it until you see it.
Okay.
You just go, we never heard of this. What are you talking about? You know? Great.
Glad I
Okay.
came on.
So me too, Dallas. I wanted to tell you that you are really good at Watchtower history. I've seen your comments. I've seen the things you've said, and you are usually I've
Yeah,
seen you spot on. I
you
have
know your
not seen
stuff,
any.
Dallas.
Yes,
You
you
do.
do.
Well, thank you. As with certain things, I do my best I can.
Well, I've noticed, and I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, that's
Well,
nice.
thank you.
John was saying, John Mars was saying, uh, mm, hmm.
That's
I'll read
my
it in a
that's my number, my volunteer number.
Oh, wow.
Why?
You're a
Wow.
celebrity, Matthew, for the Watchtower.
And then, yeah, well,
Like
I don't know
Watchtower
what good
royalty.
news it is, but here's my certificate.
That's awesome.
And there's the
Wow.
signatures, so that you can see that I am truly Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania and New York.
Cool.
So this is a binding certificate.
And it
And
binds.
then I've even got a letter showing what I was paid out. Because I think Rick Farron says, has anybody ever been paid by Watchtower? I have.
Well, yeah. It's don't some of the pint. Well, never mind. I don't know what it's really called.
So that tells you how much I got.
I can't see it.
Well, it's in kwacha.
That's
It's in
fascinating.
what?
So 56. How much
$1,000?
is this?
No.
56,000 kwacha.
Which means what? And
It's peanuts.
oh.
I'm guessing $36. I
It
don't know.
sounds a lot. It sounds a lot.
I didn't catch that.
I said that I'm
Yeah.
guessing $36.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
That's
Who
funny.
knows?
Well, this was
Wow.
a nice history lesson. Thank you,
I
Matthew.
know, right?
Yeah, Matthew, thank you. Where you going? Where you go?
I know, right? He's just
Matthew,
moving
where'd you
stuff around,
go?
I think.
He's
Um,
going to get more stuff. He's going to get more stuff.
This is
Well,
actually the first time
just
he's done
to-
this showing.
Huh? What?
This is like the first time he's done that, showing all these different artifacts or stuff. It's very cool,
Should have me on more often.
right? I'll be like
Wait.
texting you in the middle of the night. I'll be like,
So I don't know what the kind of insight that gives you, but I mean,
Yeah, what do you have?
if we can somehow connect it, I don't know how it would all, and especially with the JW historians. I mean,
Yeah, do a little course. Someone said $1.57.
that's perfect.
yeah, I think we bought somebody because I gave it away. Purple says it's $1.57, but you have to go according to what it was. I don't know, 25 years ago or something like that. So I don't know what that was then. We did buy a suit for somebody with that money.
Oh my!
And then I've also got I've got something historical here, something else
See,
historical.
we opened up. Wow, we opened up something with you, Matthew.
This little book.
How much literature do you have? Wow.
Is that
No, I rescued this. It was scheduled for destruction. They were going to destroy it.
Well,
And I
smart
said,
you.
no,
That was
this
smart.
is history you're destroying.
Yeah,
That book from
that's a gold
Dunlap?
mine.
Is
What's
that
that?
book
say?
from Dunlap?
I'll tell you what happened, Gail. They said to me, because you do all this anointing test, you've got to
Yeah.
verify that you're anointed. So I went through all the testing and I did all the examinations, passed all the psychological profiling. It's hectic, eh? So when I passed that, do you remember there is the statement to Solomon after Solomon gives the sacrifice? Jehovah says to him, "What do you want?" So as one of the anointed on the hub system, if I asked for a 4x4, I would get it. If I wanted a truck, I would sign for it, and then one of the branch committee would sign, and an overseer would sign. You'd have 3 people. I would get it. If I wanted an irrigation system, I just would fill in a requisition. I would get it. Whatever I want, unlimited funds. If I wanted a kingdom hall, or if I wanted an electricity box for a Kingdom Hall in a rural area, they would fly it out. All right. So we're not messing around here on the. And if anybody ever gets the records, they can see my name on all the requisitions. So they go, Matt, you're dreaming. Well, the purchasers don't lie. You follow the money, you follow all the requisitions, you'll see my name on a lot of these requisitions. Okay. So one of the things when they put me through the anointed testing, they were, you know, like what they did with Rick. They were saying, oh, we suggesting you for governing body. Well, my instructor or my handler was saying, oh, we see you as potential for the governing body. I think this is prior to Jody Jedele. They were getting all excited at that time. Who's the next going to be on the governing body? They said to me, Matt, what do you want? This came from Bethel. This was a gift from Bethel. So they said, Matt, what do you want? So I said, like Solomon, provide me wisdom. Because that's what Solomon said. They said, oh, we would give you wealth, we'd give you money. So I said, no, give. So I thought the smart answer or the correct answer was give me wisdom. And so I got this library prior to its destruction. I said, no, I want to actually have this. In fact, they weren't scheduling this thing for destruction, but I knew it was going to happen. And I said, no, I want it. Just send it to me. So they packed it up in crates. They used it in shipping, and they shipped it out to me.
Wow.
And then afterwards, that's when they were ordered. Any subsequent books, destroy them. Destroy libraries. If somebody's dying, assign two elders to approach the family of the person who's passed away and say, oh, did Granny leave a library behind? Could you donate it to the museum? They don't need your donation. All that happens goes out into a skip and it's destroyed because they don't want you to have the libraries anymore. So that was an initiative that's gone throughout Africa. So they've been systematically destroying libraries in all the kingdom halls and anybody who's got an old library. But I managed to get this before that initiative. And it's got the organization stamps. It's got the to show you it's from Writing Desk. It's not an ordinary set of books. Anyway.
What is the name of that
Matthew,
book that you were holding up? That small book you were holding in your hand.
Yeah, what is that?
What is that called?
I can't. Yeah, there you go. The
Finished Mystery.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh, I don't want that in my house.
And then I've got because there's other versions. There's other versions of this too. So I've got the blue ones too.
Oh wow.
So there's different types. You've got the black ones, you've got the blue ones, you've got all the various types.
You know, Matthew,
goes back to 1879.
Matthew, you was brilliant asking for that. You know why? Because I know that all the Kingdom Halls asked all the members to turn in all their publications. Now, I have two friends that are still active, and I said, don't ever give them your literature. Don't give it to them. I says, and she says, oh, they want it for museums. I goes, don't buy that. You think they're going to have they'll have 1,000 of the same publication? No, they're going to destroy it because that's
Correct.
evidence against them, all the old publications.
That's right.
Yeah, and the Texans are buying them up. I mean, they'll pay. I was staggered at what this is worth.
Oh,
well,
I'm not surprised.
Just even the fact that, well, you're not going to get these from Service Desk with the Service Desk stamp in it. You won't get them. Here's another mind blower. You ready for this? Because this is this from our
Divine
printery.
Plan of Ages.
Gee, that looks
this
brand
from
new
our
too.
printery?
Wow.
Let me show you something about where this is printed.
What's it say? Texas?
Ah.
Fort Worth, Texas. Wow.
Fort Worth Bible students. Who the heck are these people?
I
Right?
don't know.
Well, I live. As for me, I lived 30 miles north of Dallas, Texas. But even though Texas, it's my second state rather than my home state, because my home state is Pennsylvania. Then
Yeah.
Texas right now, I'm in North Carolina.
So my question is now, here it is, Dallas. Here's my question. My question is, what is our printery doing with this printery? Why have we got these publications? Are we the same organization?
I don't
Are
know.
we?
Good point. I don't know. It doesn't look it, does it?
Because this looks
I
like
don't
a
know.
separate printery that's producing this information, and it looks like it's the same organization. How?
Huh.
You see how important it is to have this literature, because now you can start connecting different organizations together.
Matthew, do you know?
They
on
don't want
Amazon-
me having this stuff.
I'm sorry, Matthew. On Amazon, they were selling the Aid to Bible Understanding for $100.
So, sorry, what is that,
The
Gail?
Aid to Bible Understanding, that's the only book I like that I'll have in my house. They were selling it for $100.
I wonder what a complete set of watchtowers from 1870. Look, I know that there are watchtowers prior to 1879, but it's when it was incorporated in 1879. I wonder what a complete set from 1879 up to current is worth. Because I think in Rand, if intrinsic value, to replace that, you're talking about some substantial amounts, and especially the rarity now. But I wouldn't part with them because it's historical.
Yeah, I wouldn't part with your literature. No way.
I've got wait.
I have something to say.
Jim,
Miss
you guys
Sherry,
are
Sherry,
triggering
this
all
is not
sorts of-
a show tonight to promote the organization. Okay?
Oh
This is-
yeah, is
this
this
is a
promoting?
show- This is a show. Well, she's okay. Well, she's talking
No,
to
let Linda
us like
talk. Go
we're-
ahead, Linda.
like we're promoting the organization. Some of us might be involved in the organization. Some of us might not. But this is not a promote, let's all be a Jehovah's Witness and let's all go to
Yeah.
the Kingdom Hall. The stuff you're sharing, most people that watch or listen to this show pretty much are aware of. But I get the impression you're kind of telling us these things as if maybe
Yeah.
I don't know them, or I just want to let
Yes,
you
I
know
must
that I do.
apologize to your audience because I know when I do this, it looks some might go, "Oh, you're promoting this."
Well, she was
Let's
saying
get
we
something
were
clear.
beating a dead horse. Like, I don't know what that.
Yeah, let's get it
yeah.
clear. They wanted these destroyed.
The Bible students
Why?
still exist. Yeah.
So I'll give you an example why. Just to, because I realize it might trigger some in the audience. So Linda James, maybe you can sanitize
Sherry's
what
a
I'm
very
about to say.
diehard. I don't even know how to explain it, but she has some beliefs that I might not agree with, but she's very passionate about her belief system. It's very
Yes.
kind of Jewish-ish, and I hope I'm not saying that wrong, Sherry.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Okay, this is the first thing. Yeah. So absolutely
She
respect.
said so. Linda, I am a Masonic Jew. Thank you for making that clear. Yes, and she's
Yeah.
very passionate. But yeah,
All
I'm
right,
glad
can I
you're
say
here.
something?
I just don't want you to think that
She's-
this
Sherry's
is other
starting
than
to piss
what
me
we're
off.
doing.
I'm going to say something. She's starting to
Okay.
piss me off. I don't like her language and what she has to say. If she's going to come on in the chat, be polite. We're not dumbbells. We're just talking. What Matthew has to say, I find, to me, it's fascinating. I'm a historian, and I find it fascinating, and I like listening to it. You don't have to call us names and say we're duped. We're not duped. We're sharing. It's called sharing information.
Okay. Well, all
I
right.
enjoy what Matthew has to share with us tonight, and about the old literature and books. They order you to. They're not just. They're ordering you to give it over, and don't ever, under any circumstances, follow orders. Save it or as evidence, or sell it as a
Right.
Yeah, so look, if I die, if they kill me or I get eliminated or something like this, I have a responsibility that this somehow is preserved because it now has the history of what's going on. I mean, inside here is the notes on the calculations of dates. It shows you the whole mentality that was going on behind things. And somebody like Jeff and your Watchtower historians, they're the kind of qualified people who can decompile this and put together exactly what was happening here. Now, people want to know, oh, is this an inspired organization? There's persons that are thinking, oh, it works this way, or this is the truth, or that's happening. They don't necessarily know a story behind maybe what was happening with Russell and his wife, Maria. I think, Linda James, you were asking about, why was there the celibacy thing?
Yes.
Shouldn't people know about that?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to steal Barbara's thunder because she's worked very, very hard to trace what's going on. And that is part of the joy of releasing that information to the world, because people want to know, what was the mentality? What was the psychology behind it? And what was the connection? And it just dismantles all of the conspiracy theories, and it just goes into, well, this is the history out in the open, folks. This is it. This is the dismantling. And the protection or the awareness or the protection against the abuse is the information, because we were constricted. They knew that information was power. And now the information is out there for everybody to see.
Yes.
It's no longer a cult.
Right.
It's transparent. And as soon as that happened, power gone.
It's being exposed like crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, what's your favorite saying? It's Witch Tower.
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
It certainly deserves that name.
Yeah. I heard on Rick Farron, I heard Barbara Anderson, if I'm not mistaken, I might have heard wrong, but she was quoting John Dee. And I'm going, finally, I've been chirping this for how long? And Barbara comes on and she's saying, John Dee. And I'm going, yes, that's correct. Historically, that's the whole Watchtower, earth, fire, air, water. It's the whole ritual. And people, we don't know what you're talking about. Huh? What, this is happening at the annual meeting? No, you're dreaming it. I heard Barbara talking about it. I'm going, yes, we need that information. Because, and the other thing is she's so careful. So she's got an academic credential there that Watchtower giving her a hard time. I said, no. Why? Because she has a reputation built on facts. That's what she's done in her legacy.
Absolutely.
Matthew, I think Paul and Jeff are also on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not on Facebook, but you've got great connections there.
Yeah, you can just go on YouTube and put Watchtower History, and all their videos will pop up.
Yeah, but I like the fact that you've got a connection with them. I think that's a very, very good relationship, Gail.
Well, they were instrumental in waking me up. I just happened to find them by accident, and they do an unbelievable historical documentary on Russell himself. They give a whole biography on him and Rutherford, and they back up everything they say. And they say that they back up everything that they discuss.
Well, I want to send respects to Sherry Dungan, because all the contributions are all just facets of everybody working together. We're all trying to work together to just expose the abuse aspect and try and save people from getting abused, right? Am I fair saying that? Maybe I'm assuming, but that's what I'd like to believe that the community is all about. It's about getting the truth out in the open that we were restricted not to talk about, and why it just so that persons don't fall into getting tricked and used and abused, you know.
By a cult that lies to millions.
Millions, yes.
Well, thanks very much for looking at all the toys and all the, you know, that was exciting to share that.
I
It
thought
was.
exciting.
I enjoyed it.
Me too. I'm fascinated by it. I just want to say something to Sherry, that we're XJWs. It does. We all know we've been. You used the word duped, but I have regrets that I got. I use the word bamboozled, and it took me a long time to wake up. But I believe this was where God wanted me to go. So this avenue that Linda has, and we have one with Rick Sharon, and we also have one with Fern and Joe, and we get together and we share information. We have topics of discussion. You may not agree with everything everybody says, but we're polite.
Right.
We're very polite with each other. We listen.
Yes.
We take the information in. You take what you need, like the AA says, take what you need, and you leave the rest behind. And we all, it's a brotherhood, really. It's a wonderful brotherhood that we share all this, and that we're not alone. We support each other, and we're not alone. Thank you.
Well, thanks for that. And I was saying to Linda James, I said, part of the joy, and you, Dallas, by the way, you're a big part of this. You know, part of our getting together is that we're actually able to find some kind of joy.
Yeah.
Well, that's my experience. And that's what I was saying to Linda James. I said, you know, I felt actually in the interaction, I actually felt joy for, I can't remember when, and I'm going, the superstition comes in. Oh, there's going to be some kind of disaster, because this is the conditioning that comes into my head. And it's just a load of crap, baloney nonsense. That's not true. It doesn't have to be the self-destruct thing, right, or there's doom and gloom because we accumulating joy. If anything, the witch tower side was about suppressing our joy, because that's part of our innate abilities. As soon as the love and the joy goes up, guess what? You're healing people. Sending out Reiki power, love and light, and miracles and lightning, and okay, I'm going over the top here.
That's all right, Matthew.
But you're in support of people's healing, is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
We're recovering. We're all recovering, and we're going to be recovering for the rest of our lives. We're recovering,
That's
and
how
we've all
I
been
see it.
wounded, but we're moving on. We're moving forward, and we do it together as a group. We may not all agree, but we respect one another, and that's the most important thing. I respect what everybody has to say.
Sherry just was like apologizing and saying she says it the way it is. Right. She's got a way about her that's very like, well, I was talking to Matthew earlier. I'm like, I was assertive, not aggressive. And girlfriend Sherry, sometimes you come across as aggressive when I think you're only trying to be assertive.
Well, she round up the Italian in me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well,
so I know there's been
Italian in me too, because I think also in our healing process, the intention is to try and help. And guess what? I know I blurt things out on Rick's show, for instance, or on other shows, and I come back and I go, oh God, I've really put my foot in it, and I didn't mean to, and somebody's got upset, and I'm going, oh gee. Or somebody says, oh, you're a spy now because...
Oh, gosh.
And it triggers all kinds of things. And you can't say, oh, well, I blame you and you're a complete idiot. Or no, you know what? It's like Anne Marie says. We've got our sunburn, you know, and it touches the sunburn. And I go, oh, man, I don't want to look at a video of myself. That's embarrassing now, you know.
Well, I was going to ask Fern and Joe if I could do a little video on triggering. I have some great information about triggering.
Oh, that'd be very fascinating. Yeah.
You know, because I was trained as a human behaviorist, and I had to be very careful, you know, because you're dealing with people who were sexually abused, and I as what I learned was I didn't tell anybody what to do. I didn't advise them. You get so they problem solve. I wanted the clients to take a look at themselves and what they can do. I didn't tell them what to do. I didn't judge them, but you become a good listener. And I was very careful on what I said, but that doesn't happen all the time because you just never know when you're going to trigger somebody. I mean, it could trigger off they could watch a movie and it could trigger off a TV show, music.
Yes.
There's all kinds of triggers. But what we need to realize with one another is that if someone's been really triggered, we need to apologize to them and tell them we're sorry. That wasn't our intent. Was to upset somebody. But I also want to say, if you're going to discuss subject matter that might be a little horrific or graphic, you need to give a warning to the audience. I'm a firm believer in that. If you're going to say something like, if Fran and Joe will give me permission, I'm going to do a breathing exercise with everybody before I talk. I want to relax everybody.
I like
I
that.
want to relax and calm and think peaceful thoughts. And then I'm going to discuss what my knowledge is on triggering. But I think the host should give a warning if you're going to have somebody on that's going to be graphic.
Definitely do that. I think that's a great idea to approach them and ask them if you can do a little video on it. And that could be so helpful for all of us.
Well, there's a difference between triggering and being uncomfortable. We've all been uncomfortable. I've been uncomfortable a few times with some of the videos I didn't like. I didn't like them at all. I wasn't triggered, but I was uncomfortable. But there's a big difference between triggering and being uncomfortable.
Can you explain that to us?
Pardon me?
I'm not sure if I know the difference now that you're bringing it up.
Well, a lot of things can make you feel uncomfortable. Like, say if somebody...
Oh, okay. I think I understand.
Uncomfortable. I'll give you a good example.
For me, I can be uncomfortable, but when I'm triggered, I'm reacting so
exactly.
out of character.
You react
so out of character.
Triggered.
Like, if I'm uncomfortable, I'm kind of like, yeah, this is kind of making me mad, but I'm going to be okay with it.
Exactly.
When I get triggered, I'm freaking pissed and telling you all about it. What the hell just made me do that?
Very good. That's excellent.
Okay.
That's a good one. Good. That was good. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's a big difference.
Can I ask a question that if it's awkward or if I'm putting anybody on the spot or if Linda James it doesn't fit in with the channel, then I'll withdraw it. But I've shared with you, Linda James, and I think Gail knows it. I think Dallas also knows this. I can't get rid of pain every day, right? It's at varying levels, and I've got varying treatments to try and control this thing. But and I also recognize that it can be underlying conditions, like I talk of my hypoxia, for instance. But I've also spoken very transparently with my doctor about being traumatized too, and it can kind of go hand in hand. And you can't say one causes the other. You can say if you've got an underlying condition or you've had a hypoxia injury, then you get this thing coming along. It's just not great, you know. So I can come away from maybe burning my brain, for instance, on like a chat show, I'm finished afterwards. I'm like, oh, I've got to go and hit medication, or I've got to go and sleep, or whatever. And I just wonder how many have gone through just debilitating kind of pain that flattens you out maybe a day or two, or, you know, and what kind of hope there is for improvement. I don't know if that is a fair thing to ask, or if anybody can comment on it, or Linda James, if anybody's allowed to comment on that.
Are you talking physical pain or emotional?
No, I'm talking about like I feel like I've been smacked by a bat in the front of my head. And tension. But I get to such a stage, and I don't mean to be too graphic, but it is what it is. My eyes even bleed, and I bleed in a very personal way because of the sheer stress of remembering some of the traumas, or maybe the accumulation that's happened subconsciously. Like even my teeth, even though things worked out very well for us, and with Sherry, We can see that things have been dignified here. I can feel I'm finished. I don't feel like I'm buggered, you know.
It's an
Do
Amber
you,
thing.
do you know what biofeedback is?
Yeah, yeah, that's your body telling you that, or a record in your back, for instance, of certain emotional events in your consciousness stream, right? Am I right or wrong?
No, biofeedback is they use that with recovering alcoholics. They put you in a room and you have earphones and you listen to beautiful soft music, and somehow the music is so soothing. It calms your whole physique down with the music. I don't know if they still do that, but that's what they were doing before, trying to help people that have been traumatized or struggling with addiction. They use this type of therapy. I don't know if they still do it, but
I've done solfeggio and binaural beats, like from the Monroe Institute.
yes. There's a lot of different things you can do. Are you into deep breathing?
I do controlled hypoxia. I do deep breathing, much like who's a well-known figure, Wim Hof. I learned that at Gilead, by the way, the deep breathing exercise.
Oh, wow, that's
I
interesting.
can do it, and I can get into a trance state. That's how deep I can go. Yeah, I can actually release what they say is dimethyltryptamine. I can release my own dimethyltryptamine. I can go into very deep, timeless awareness.
I probably shouldn't ask you this, but did you ever try CBD oil?
I have tried it.
Did it work?
It helped me to reboot my brain. Linda James, I'm going to put, we're not endorsing any kind of medical treatment. I'm just relating a lived experience.
Absolutely.
Is that good for your channel?
Works for me, yeah.
So I'm not a medical practitioner, and I'm not promoting one thing above another. But Gail, yes, I think that's been very good. I have seen cases, whether it's anecdotal, of missionaries who were like skeletal and were dying of cancer, where it appears that cancer was reversed. It was my experience, as because somebody was dying and we applied CBD and they appeared to be healed. But of course, this can be challenged. But this was my experience through Africa in all sorts of places. The other thing was I had experience with nootropics and cycling nootropics. For myself, I had to do it to get my brain rebooted because I was stuck. I was so stuck. So I would cycle L-theanine. What was the other? Oh, Gail, the other thing I did was pure nicotine.
I tried that. It made me sick.
But it's without the chemicals. So that's why I said the pure nicotine, because I thought, oh, this is no good, and it's going to be addictive.
Right.
And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It just rebooted my brain, and you're not on it permanently. It's got to be cyclic so that your body doesn't adapt. So
it's expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive, but I mean, I was dying, Gail. I couldn't even talk.
Yeah, well, when you're in that stage, you'll try anything that's going to work.
Oh, by the way, and I was under doctor's direction. This wasn't just thumbs up. I had 2 scientists saying, we're going to get you out of this because you stuffed. They told me, they said, you're in a rowboat and it's a real slow rowboat, but we're going to get you to the shore. And here we are. I'm on the show talking.
I didn't mean to get so personal. I'm sorry.
Sounds like we've gotten to the shore. Yes.
I don't mind sharing with you, Gail, and I think it's obvious, but I feel easier talking. I feel easier talking with Linda James, Dallas present, and you, Gail, because you know what? I don't feel like I have to be so guarded.
Thank you.
I don't feel like.
Thank you too.
I can't tell you what a joy.
Dallas. Isn't that a compliment, Dallas?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I
Dallas gets on. He brightens my day. Who
Right.
doesn't?
Can I tell you what? Can I tell you? I worked with 14 male and female adults. Most of them were sexually abused. Now, I had to do something for myself because I'm taking all that energy into my body, and some of the stories were horrific, and what I had to do to protect myself is we had staff meetings, and we would each staff meeting we would take one of the clients and discuss them. I had to do a lot of exercising because I didn't want that energy coming home with me, but you just can't I just couldn't shut it off. I mean, some of these stories I listened to, it's just blew my mind with what people can do to other people. It's just atrocious what humans do to humans. And I try not to show any emotions. I would pray. I actually prayed before I went into work and when I left, because I didn't know. And I found out working in the field that all the horror happens at night.
Mm.
And that made a lot of sense to me, especially the sexual abuse. Oh, it happens in the evening. So they would all, I mean, you'd have one person come in for 15 minutes, they left, and another person comes in, and another one, and another one. And, I'm sucking all that energy in, and I had to find different ways to release it. I actually got sick from the stress at one point. But I've found I do a lot of, trial and error stuff to see what works and what helps me. But I ended up getting out of the field eventually because it was getting too much for me. But I don't know, there's all kinds of things out there now today to help you heal. There's supplements, there's red light therapy, there's all kinds of stuff. Biofeedback, support groups. There's a lot out there.
Well, thanks, Gail. Keep bringing it on because I like hearing about that. Yeah, you know your thing about exercise. It's not to be downplayed. And I go, should I be exercising more? I mean, I was doing exercise till my cortisol was just shooting through the roof, right? Because that was the other thing. That, it's one of these things you got to get in balance, because if you don't,
you can go extreme.
Then you get cortisol, and my cortisol was high, and inflammation markers were going high, and I kind of gave up. But I know that that's important to try and get the balance, and I think it's getting the balance that's important, so that you just don't give up and
right.
No,
I agree with that. Yeah, you can go one way or the other. I like to stay in the middle, but sometimes I go far to the right or far to the left. It's a work. I'm really trying to see what works and what doesn't work. It's trial and error, really.
So I think it's these kind of chats that are just transparent and vulnerable and talking about these things with healthy boundaries, obviously. But I think these are very important because, it's an ongoing process, right? There's nobody that actually graduates. It's the ongoing journey, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. But you know what I found works? You have to have somebody in your life. You have to have family members or people around that love you, so you don't feel isolated and alone. So I was very happy that my children were very supportive of me. They didn't like my line of work. My mother didn't either, but and I had wonderful staff I worked with, except for the last job when I worked with the co-ed. I actually got fired because, I didn't get fired. They sent me to a house where they knew I wasn't going to last there because it was a very demonic program. There was a lot of people into witchcraft, and I did not like the atmosphere. What happened was I saved a woman's life, and I was the only straight. Everybody they were all homosexuals, and I had a sign. I was a witness at the time. I had to sign a waiver saying that I wouldn't discuss religion, but I don't go by that. I always find a way to bring God into the equation when I'm dealing with people, because I believe in spirituality. And so I saved the woman's life. I had to call the fire department. She was an anorexic, and she tried to commit suicide. Well, anyway, the next day my boss takes me out for coffee. So I goes, "Oh, what's this? Getting my pink slip." She said I was kind of astute because that's exactly what she did. She got rid of me and they sent me to another home that they owned in Belmont, Massachusetts, which was that was hard. This is a true story. I actually slept with the vacuum hose next to me and the door locked. And I don't like to be afraid of anything, but I can't fight demons. I can't. And that's what I was dealing with. And you have to pretend.
What would the vacuum hose be used for?
In case they bothered, in case I was assaulted.
Okay.
It was a metal vacuum hose, and it was the only thing in the staff's bedroom that I had for a weapon, because I didn't know what these clients were capable of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had no
I see
idea.
that.
I knew if they were going to hit me, then they're getting hit back.
Okay, that makes sense.
Gail,
Yes.
there is a historian I respect very much, Gary Lachman. And Gary Lachman, I think I've also mentioned this to Linda James. Gary Lachman was in Blondie, the rock group.
Oh yeah, I love Blondie.
Yeah, what's it? Heart of Glass, which is sung by Dolly Parton as well. So Gary Lachman, no longer in Blondie, but he does historical analysis and examinations. Written a lot of books. He's very prolific, and he's easy listening. He's the kind of guy that'll go to Theosophical Society and do a big thesis in front of him, and keep it entertaining. So those are the kind of crowds he'll go to, and he'll talk about Blavatsky, and he goes into the whole history. But he also analyzes Gurdjieff and Uspensky, in Fontainebleau in Paris. So that whole fourth way spiritual process, that whole thing he goes into, and how there was the mixture between Jung and Freud, that whole intermix at that particular time, which was building off like psychologists like William James, for instance, who you could say is a modern founder of our psychology system. And in his records, he's showing these guys go to bed at night and they wake up with a demon in their bed, because what have they been processing? They've been processing our deepest human psyche. Mm-hmm. And they're going through these kind of experiences, which they're trying to establish, is this part of our imagination? Is this an egregore? Is this a tulpa? Are we contaminating each other's minds here? Am I conjuring this? Is this real? So it goes into all of that information. And what I find really great with somebody like Lachman is they put it in such a way that it inoculates you. It's just after you've gone into it and you've seen all of these facets, it inoculates you. It's an incredible thing. I don't know how useful that is to you.
Well, I'm out of the field now. Now,
I don't have all the answers, but I'm not trying to go, this is a panacea for everything. I don't claim that. I just find that is what is at the front line of our modern psychology, and it's going to shape what's being taught in university for the next 20 years.
You know what you're going to find fascinating about the clients I worked with? Most of them had most of them were doctors, professors. A lot of them had high degrees, and a lot of them were like a lot of them had extreme mental illness, and a lot of them were very intelligent, and it cost a lot of money.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, the correlation was unbelievable to me. And it was $4,000 a month back in the 90s. That's a lot of money to stay in a program.
Wow.
They bought up all these mansions. It was called Wild Acre Inn. They eventually folded. They bought up these mansions, and I don't know if you ever heard of McLean's Hospital. It's a famous mental health hospital in the world. Well, most of the clients came from there, and we had quite a few doctorates in there. But the crazier they were, the smarter they were. And
I know, right?
It's weird. And two of them would sit at the table and try to incite me to get a rise out of me. But I wouldn't, I had extensive
That's
training,
messed
so
up.
I knew what they were
That's
trying
so
to
wrong.
do. Huh?
I said that's so wrong.
I knew what they were up to, but I just pretended no, it doesn't. But it did bother me. But I did. The art is not letting them know it bothers you.
Hmm.
And I was good at that. So that's why I went to bed with the vacuum hose. I didn't stay there long. I went to another mansion that they owned, which was. I'm telling you, I could write a book on some of the stories and encounters.
You should, Gail. You got great stories there.
I'm telling you.
I really love the idea you're thinking about asking, putting together a video. Whether Joe and Friend use it or not, it can be uploaded to your own channel or
Oh, I don't know how to
somebody
do
else.
any of that.
Okay, well,
That's
I
where you
think
come in,
might
Linda.
have some friend. Okay, yes,
I could do it on
Yes,
your
that's
show some midnight.
absolutely.
I won't be around. Next Wednesday, I'm at a Christmas party, so I won't be around. And
Good
the
for
following
you.
Wednesday, I'll be in
What?
Vermont. So
Well,
Okay.
good luck, and I'm very happy for I am, and hopefully you got any relatives to gather with.
my daughter, she lives up in Vermont. I'm going
Vermont,
with my children. Yeah,
Vermont is
it's up by
very
the Canadian border.
it's pretty in
Oh, it's
Vermont.
beautiful. Yeah, they have a beautiful, beautiful home. Yeah, I'm
I-
going with my son and his girlfriend, and my granddaughter's coming from Ireland. She's going to come home for Christmas, and
Oh,
I'll be with
very,
all my
very
granddaughters.
I-
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And
beautiful.
I bet you're gonna have a big gathering right there.
Oh no, I have 3 kids and 4. It'll be the grandchildren and my 3 and my. Well, Heather won't be there. Obviously, the poor kid. She's going to be in jail, but it'll be my.
Sad, because I spoke to her. It's sad.
She never got anybody's cards or anything. I don't know what they did with their mail. She didn't get anything. Nothing.
Mm.
I don't know what they did with them.
You can have anything.
I'm going to close up in about 10 minutes. So I was
I-
going to
I
have
bet-
to take
I can't believe
turns.
I'm still up.
I bet you're
I'm never
fixing
going to go
to
to sleep now. I'm wide awake.
and I bet Gail she's fixing to have some sweet potatoes and some collard or mustard greens along with her feast.
No, we don't eat that stuff. Sorry, you're talking Italian here.
How about that?
I think that was her Italian telling you that.
And I like to learn about different ones. I like certain things. I like to visit different international grocery stores. I
Do you?
enjoy it.
Well, I do make homemade yams, but my kids won't eat them because I put alcohol in it. I put Contro in my honey yams, but they won't eat them because my son's a recovering alcoholic. So
Oh, okay,
I-
yeah.
And I think that I've learned some things about Indians.
Yeah.
what kind of Indians? Native Americans or the
And from
I'm
Asia,
sorry,
the country of India.
Asia, yep,
People.
you're-
Sorry, wrong
From
word
Asia.
term. Wrong term.
I think that Indian, they're known for family gatherings, and I know how some take pride in their heritage, and you're one of them here, Gigi.
Well, I made a big pot of sauce with homemade meatballs and sausages today.
Yeah.
And I think that some of them may have what they call they bring out their Indian or certain things in them. They're Afghan.
I like Greek food the best.
I good. I love Greek, and then there's Turkish and Arab,
I
Persian.
love Middle Eastern food. I like all kinds of
You
food.
know,
I'm not kidding.
Our vice president, J.D. Vance, his
Uh-huh.
wife is Asian Indian. And when they got married, the wedding ceremony was partially of her culture and his culture. And they
Cool.
combined it together. It was pretty unique. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's very
Matthew, can you
uncommon.
cook? I'm sorry.
Oh,
Matthew,
that's
do you
okay.
cook?
Yeah, I do.
And we know you're Italian, Linda, so you make spaghetti and meatballs too, right?
I made a good spaghetti last night.
What'd you make?
Made a good spaghetti bolognese last night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Linda James, can I say, extend my gratitude to everybody? I think that's a good
Yeah,
practice.
let's
I
all
want to say
take
thank you
turns.
very much
Okay.
to Gail. I want to say thanks to Dallas and Linda James. Thank you for being
Thank
so
you.
gracious with your hospitality, for letting me onto your show and to interact with everybody. And of course, everybody that's contributed. I think of Sherry there, and Water Cables, and Grow, and just all the various ones that are tuning in. Of course, Sheila, if she comes back in, Purple as well, all these various ones. But thank you very, very much. I really appreciate all the help that comes through, and just the good time that we have together. So thank you very
yeah,
much.
I enjoyed it. Thank you, Linda. I enjoyed it.
I'm really glad you guys showed up.
Yeah, I'm glad I
it
came
makes
too.
it makes the time together have more flavor than only what
Absolutely.
I would bring, you know?
I think that everybody should learn about and enjoy such ones as Roy Rogers and Dale Evans.
I just saw
Thank
something
you.
about Roy Rogers the other. Didn't they have a museum or something? Roy Rogers, and then he had the horse. He had his horse. I forgot what do you call it when you
Tri- and
stick an animal taxidermist? They did it with the horse.
with
Okay.
Trigger, right? Trigger, that was Roy's horse, and Buttermilk was Dale Evans, and then Bullet, he was part of it, the family too.
We talk about a lot of things tonight, didn't we?
And that's how I love it to go. To just
And
flow.
Linda, you're not far from where the Clampetts were filmed. The
Who?
Beverly Hillbillies, the Clampetts.
Where were they
That's right.
filmed? In California, wasn't it?
Yes.
They went from Tennessee Mountaineers. They end up in Beverly Hills.
Oh, because they struck oil.
They struck.
We're
Oh.
talking about a TV show called The Beverly Hillbillies.
Hillbillies.
I love them.
And
And- 'cause
Jethro's
they-
still alive.
They
He's
never
like,
change.
Jethro?
They never change who they.
Really?
Yeah, he's about 90 years old now, Jethro.
How old?
I think he's up there. You can Google him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's up there in age.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Linda.
Sure. I'm glad you guys came on here.
Me too.
I also appreciate everybody that showed up in the chat, talking amongst each other, giving your comments about what we were talking about.
What time is it where you are, Linda?
It's about 3:25 or 3:23. Yeah.
In the afternoon?
A.m.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm a night person. Yeah.
aren't you out in California? It's 3:23 for you?
Yes.
Oh, it's 3:23.
I'm off. I'm looking at the wrong thing with the wrong glasses on.
I was gonna
No,
say.
It's
Yeah,
only 12:24 a.m.
Did Matthew? Did you go? Did he leave?
I'm still with you.
Oh. Well, I didn't offend anybody, did I?
Oh,
No, you didn't.
Pleasure.
I've come from a place that we might offend. That's just how life is, okay? We don't intentionally try to offend.
I know. Well, if I do, I apologize.
Right. Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Well, we're all adults, right? We're all adults here.
I think
You can tell the difference when somebody is intentionally trying to
Yeah.
mess with your head, and
Right.
just other times just it comes out and oops, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I did, so I'm gonna kind of roll with it.
Well, everybody have a nice Sunday, whatever you're doing. And
You too.
thank you, Matthew. I really enjoyed those books. I can't get over those books.
And we had a lot of fun, eh?
Yeah, we
That was
did.
very
Enjoyed
unique.
it. Thank you. You made my night, the morning, whatever the hell it is.
Well, go with blessing, folks. Dallas, good being with you as well. And Linda
you
James.
too, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
You're not.
Good night,
Did you?
Mr. Dallas.
Not
You're going out for breakfast pretty soon.
Right?
What time is it where you are?
3:25.
What is
Cause
it?
I 3:25. I'm on Eastern time.
Oh, you're not in Central Time?
No, I'm in North Carolina.
I thought you said Texas.
It's my former home
Oh, I'm
before
sorry.
North Carolina.
Oh,
So
I
I've,
thought
I've
you-
lived in three states now.
Oh, okay. So
Native that started in Pennsylvania, 17, and then spent 14 years in Texas, and now been here since 2018, June 2018.
do you like North Carolina? They say it's really nice there.
I like a lot of things. I've made some friends, and think it's because I had a family member move my mom here because she has dementia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So otherwise, I loved it back in Texas as I got the replacement. It's a Texas Rangers shirt, which I've had it back there, but replaced it.
What's the Texas Rangers baseball?
It is, but they're actually in Arlington, Texas, which is in between Dallas and Fort Worth.
Hey, who won the Army Navy game today? Does anybody know? No. What? Nobody knows. Okay. I
And
guess I watched football.
cause it's because my grandpa, he was a sports fan. He was a Redskins and Nationals fan.
Oh.
Because of my grandparents being residents of Arlington, Virginia, the suburb of Washington D.C.
Wow.
I think that, and you talked about being in Midwest, the South. Maybe you thought about Missouri or something like that.
Who are you talking to?
I think you.
Oh. Sorry. Yeah, I was thinking I wanted to go to Colorado or Montana, but I don't want to go by myself, so I'm staying up here in New England.
And Missouri, they got some good things going for every place.
Yeah, there's a lot of preppers in Missouri.
And also and then one place they eat a lot of crawfish and gator.
Oh.
That's actually good. Crawdad.
You've had alligator?
I have it. I love fried
What's
gator.
it taste like?
It's a hybrid of shrimp and think poultry, but more like I think a hybrid between shrimp and catfish, which are both catfish. That is a staple fish of the South.
Yep, I've had catfish.
Catfish. That's our big thing in my former home in Texas, and then even. And you go to one state, they deep fry their turkey, Louisiana.
Oh, really?
They inject it with the marinade and then season it with Cajun season and fry it. While Texas they smoke theirs too, but Louisiana they big into crawdads, crawfish, and gator and such things.
Well,
And Louisiana and New Orleans, they invented that sandwich. It's a Sicilian with Sicilian bread and olive relish, the muffaletta.
what is it?
The muffaletta.
What's that?
It is a sandwich made of ham, salami, provolone, and an olive relish, invented at a Italian grocery store in New Orleans.
Oh, we call that an Italian sub up here.
It's actually circular.
Almost antipasta in a sandwich.
It's actually circular. It is a circular loaf, and only in New Orleans, I understand that you'll get the real deal.
Okay.
But because New Orleans, they were, and I think still are, the Little Italy, not only the Gulf Coast, but of the South.
Oh yeah, they're known for their cuisine.
That such as in their chow and then y'all, because it's the South.
Hmm.
And some of them, some different countries immigrated to New Orleans, to the Mississippi Delta, and then up to the Mississippi River, St. Louis, Lou, and all the way throughout.
Well, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm falling asleep.
You take care now.
You too, Dallas. Thank you.
Love
Good
you.
night,
Yeah.
everybody. It was nice being with you.
I'm glad you joined us. Thank you, Gail.
Me too. It was very exciting conversations.
And you can rewatch this later from the beginning.
Oh no,
want
no, I don't like watching myself.
Oh, okay.
I don't like watching myself. I don't like the way I don't like the way I sound. No.
Okie dokie.
All right. Well,
Have you had a chance to say goodnight, Dallas?
I think he did. I don't know.
Sometimes you might enjoy songs like "If Heaven Ain't a Lot Like Dixie" or "You Ain't Whistling Dixie."
I think you're getting punch drunk, Dallas, from being up.
I think he's singing us out.
And
That's the term.
Even though I'm rural, of course, rural Pennsylvania, we love that too.
What?
We love certain things, and we eat biscuits in rural Pennsylvania as well.
I know when I went down to Georgia to visit my brother, everybody eats cornbread. And that's what they have with the everybody. What do they have with cornbread?
Cornbread. Okay.
Cornbread. I love it, but it has to have no sugar in the batter. It can't be, because it ain't cake.
Because it ain't cake, he says. I see. This sounds quite cultural.
Say that again, Dallas. About
it has to be. It has to be unsweet. The real Southern cornbread or Texas cornbread. Gotta be.
My grandmother used to make polenta. Do you remember? Did you ever have polenta, Linda?
I don't even know what that is. No.
It's like grits.
It's cornmeal, and we put tomato sauce on it, and they call it polenta.
I have not. No. Sounds fascinating.
Yeah, so my grandmother used to make. Everything was cooked with lard. I'm surprised I'm not 400 pounds.
It's amazing. Amazing. So I'm going to say goodnight.
I'm going to say goodnight too. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.
Good night, y'all.
Goodbye.
And thank you for everyone that showed up tonight in the chat.
Thanks for hosting. Thanks for hosting us, Linda.
Sure.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah.
All right, get some sleep, Dallas.
Y'all, you too.
I will. I'm going to try. I'm going to be awake.
And those of you that are listening in on at a different time, thank you for being here. And if anybody found value and want to share this, please like it and share it. It helps with the algorithm. And I'm trying to get used to saying that. So I'm going to be asking it more often. So good night, everyone. I will be back next weekend. I also want to remind you that I will be doing a show on Christmas Day, the night of Christmas Day. So that's coming up.
I hope I make it, because I'm so sorry I didn't make it to your Thanksgiving. But I watched most of it.
There we go. Yeah, whatever comes natural. And the reason I'm doing it is for those that just, it's the end of the day, they might have spent some time with family. Maybe they didn't spend any time with any family. Maybe things went well, maybe they didn't, and we can just kind of check in on each other. So I will see you all next weekend. And I'm saying goodbye for now. And I will talk with you next week. And as I usually always say, this is truly the highlight of my weekend. Thank you so much.
Night, Linda. Night, y'all.
Good night.
I never made it. but I know